by the U.S. Armed Forces. It's a great place to start. And by the Norelco Rotatrack, the razors that challenge the world from Norelco.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to San Diego Jack Murphy Stadium. We have a matchup tonight, BYU versus Michigan. I'm Mike Smith. Working with me on the sidelines, Greg Wyatt. And I guess the big question coming in is that #1 ranking of BYU.
You and I have seen all these games here at San Diego Stadium, but we've got media from all over the country that's never been to San Diego Stadium for a game like this. BYU has won 12 straight this year, 23 straight over 2 years. It's very difficult to argue with that record.
Well, we'll find out in the next 3 hours just how good the Cougars are. Handling the play-by-play tonight, veteran sportscaster Howard David, and with him in the booth, the former Charger linebacker and punter Paul McGuire.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. Much has been said about BYU's offense, but Lavelle Edwards today in a meeting wanted to talk about his defense.
Isn't that amazing? We spent the better part of an hour with Lavelle Edwards, and all he did was talk about defense. He said since he's been at BYU, this is probably the best defense that he's had. He's had some better individual players, but as a unit, as a group, he said this team is by far the best he's had.
Speaking of defense, the Wolverines have been nicked up this year. They have not had 2 games in a row where their defense was intact. Toughest team to score on in the Big Ten. We'll match up BYU and Michigan as the nation watches for #1 in just a moment.
There's a new movement sweeping the country. The 1985 Toyota van. So innovative, it'll change the way you think about vans. It seats 7 or carries 1,500 pounds of sheet music and gives you the best gas mileage of any van you can buy. You can even get an ice maker and 2 sunroofs. The Toyota van, it's a whole new movement.
I'd sure like another Stroh's.
Oh, wait. Alex? 2 cold Stroh's.
One-ranked Brigham Young taking on Michigan. The Brigham Young Cougars, coached by Lavelle Edwards, no strangers on our Mizzou Bowl telecast over recent years. And a mighty challenge tonight posed by Bo Schembechler's Michigan Wolverines. So let's right now take a look at that matchup in the Holiday Bowl. All right, Michigan under head coach Bo Schembechler. Tough to score on because of defensive captain Mike Mallory, Michigan's most valuable player. Mallory leads the Wolverines in tackles with 140. Senior defensive tackle Kevin Brooks, another first-team All-Big Ten player, leading the Wolverines in tackles for loss with 13. Senior outside linebacker Rodney Lyles, big, long, gangly fellow, opened the season with 3 interceptions against Miami. Junior defensive back Brad Cochran shares the team lead in interceptions with 4. He brought one back 49 yards against Illinois. 5th-year senior Bob Bergeron leads Michigan in scoring with 55 points and kicked a 52-yard school record field goal. The quarterback, sophomore Chris Zerbrug, subbing for injured starter Jim Harbaugh. Zerbrug has completed 57% of his throws. Now, the Brigham Young Cougars, Michigan's foe tonight in the Holiday Bowl, nationally ranked #1 with an offense that again is #1 in the nation in passing and in total offense, and a defense that is 10th best against the score. The #1 ranked team, quarterback Robbie Bosco, took over from All-American Steve Young and led the nation in total offense. He threw for 33 touchdowns. Finishing 3rd in the Heisman Trophy balloting. His favorite targets, tight end Dave Mills, the team leader with 60 catches and 7 touchdowns. Wide receiver Glenn Kozlowski, who caught 55 passes, 11 touchdowns. Running back Lekai Hayamoli carried for nearly 800 yards and also caught 31 passes. Kelly Smith had 350 yards rushing and caught 46 passes. The goal line stand was commonplace for the Brigham Young defense, led by first-team All-American safety Kyle Morrell, rugged defensive end Jim Herman, junior linebacker Leon White, who was a second-team All-American. They all had major roles as Brigham Young extended its winning streak to 23 victories in a row. So that's a look at tonight's Holiday Bowl matchup. Brigham Young, #1 team in the nation versus Michigan. Now stand by for kickoff. We'll be right back after these messages.
After playing against some pretty tall competition, you'd probably think I shower with the deodorant soap.
Welcome to the Mizzou Sports Bureau.
Hi, everyone. I'm Pat Scanlon.
And I'm Susie Chulik. We'll be here throughout the evening to keep you up to date with the latest scores and results from the world of sports.
In college basketball, a game played earlier today in Tokyo, the Suntory Bowl. 9th-ranked North Carolina beat Wichita State 80-69. That's it from here for now. Let's go back to San Diego and join the Holiday Bowl.
You are looking live at sold-out Jack Murphy Stadium from a view from the Goodyear Blimp Columbia, based in Carson, California, with pilot Nick Nicolari from El Toro, California, and our cameraman Don Pearsall. We welcome you to the first day of winter, and yet in Southern California, the temperature is 58 degrees. Relatively clear skies. You get a look at Robbie Bosco, the starting quarterback for the Brigham Young Cougars, and hello, Santa Claus. That's interesting ways to enter a stadium, Santa Claus. I thought he used the reindeer and sled. What, did he get away with that?
No snow here. Remember, no snow here.
Howard David with Paul McGuire, Mike Smith and Greg Wyatt on the sidelines. This game has been billed as the national championship game, primarily because of this man, Robbie Bosco, against the Michigan defense. That seems to be the storyline of the ball game. Can Michigan hold Bosco out of the end zone long enough to keep Michigan in the football game? Watching the skydivers coming into Jack Murphy Stadium, a record crowd tonight of 62,100. It's a record for Jack Murphy Stadium as you get a look at Glenn E. Bo Schembechler, the head football coach for the Wolverines of Michigan. And their starting quarterback, Chris Zurbrugg. He was third-team quarterback at the beginning of the season, but injuries necessitated his move to number 1. University of Michigan Wolverines, Paul McGuire, have been maligned a little bit in that their 6-5 record normally wouldn't warrant a national championship game. But don't underestimate the Wolverines, a 6-5 record, and yet they have played 7 bowl-bound football teams.
I think the interesting thing about Michigan playing BYU, Howard, is the fact that they have a chance, and you can't tell Michigan they're not a good football team to get 6-5. They have a chance to knock off the #1 team in the nation, and there's no other team here to do that.
You're watching the co-captains in the middle of the field. Miss America, former Miss Holiday Bowl of 1983. The referees for tonight's game is Wendell Shelton of McKinney, Texas. The umpire, Bill Voss from Abilene. The linesman, Bobby Ratliff of Hearst, Texas. Line judge, Bobby Baker of Garland. The field judge is Mike Wetzel of Austin. And the back judge is Larry Weeks of Waco, Texas. They are all Southwest Conference officials. All the ballyhoo this week, Paul McGuire, about whether or not Brigham Young is indeed #1. We have talked about it at length throughout the entire week, and so are the members of the media. And by the way, this is the largest turnout of media members in the history of the Holiday Bowl. Should Brigham Young be #1?
They win this football game, and I don't care if they win by 1 point or 30 points. They're still #1, the only undefeated team in the nation.
Well, Michigan has certainly had the experience of being in bowl games before. There is no doubt about that as you get a look at Sim Nelson, who is the starting tight end for the Wolverines of Michigan. 39 receptions on the season, 11.5 yards per catch, and 3 touchdowns. Michigan starting lineup, their offensive line. The tackles are Clay Miller and John Elliott. The guards, Bob Tabashino and Mark Hammerstein. And the center is Art Valortis. Starting quarterback Chris Zurbrugg, the fullback Bob Perryman, the tailback Rick Rogers, who's been injured this year, Triando Markray, the flanker Vince Bean, watch him, the split end, Sim Nelson, the tight end. And the kicking team for the BYU Cougars, led by Lee Johnson, who will be kicking off for Lavelle Edwards Cougars. They are 12-0 on the season, a record of 23 consecutive victories. The last time they lost was in the opening game of the 1983 season when they lost to Baylor. Since that time, they have won 23 in a row.
For those of the people that did not hear the opening of the show, it was interesting that Howard and I had a chance to talk to Lavelle Edwards before the game. We'll go through the starting lineup first, and then we'll get back to it.
All right, here's the BYU defense. Larry Hamilton, Brad Smith, and Jim Herman, the 3 men up front. The linebackers, Kerry Whittingham, Marv Allen, Kurt Govea, and Leon White. The cornerbacks, Jeff Stroud and Mark Allen. The weak safety, Kyle Morrell. And the strong safety, Steve Hammond. The deep man standing at the goal line is Jamie Morris. the younger brother of Joe Morris, the running back for the New York Giant football team. And Morris watches it go through the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 20-yard line.
Again, when we were talking to Lavelle Edwards today, we spent almost an hour with him, and you think you want to talk about your offensive football team who gains almost 500 yards per game, over 30 points per game. They talked about his strong defense, saying that it is probably the best defense that he's ever had at BYU.
Schembechler's record in bowl games, not anything he's very proud of. He's 2-9. Lavelle Edwards is 3-5 in bowl games. But those records obviously will change dramatically tonight. Perryman and Rogers, the setbacks behind the quarterback, Chris Zurbrugg. Vince Bean comes in motion from left to right. It is Rogers who gets the game's first call, and he gets a couple of yards. Rick Rogers, with an injured knee during the season, had 1,000 yards a year ago. One of the many Wolverine running backs to gain over 1,000 yards in a season. This year, Jamie Morris has been the leading ball carrier, and he's only a freshman. First time that has happened in Wolverine history. Bean comes out wide to the left. Go ahead, Paul.
No, I was just saying, if this team never stayed healthy all year long, you wonder what Michigan would have done.
Twin receivers to the left side, Jokish and Bean. And it is Perryman who gets the call across the 25-yard line. Number 59, Whittingham, or correction, 53, Carey Whittingham, the left side linebacker, in on the play for BYU. From the BYU secondary, a look at the Michigan offense. Third down play coming up, 3rd and 2 Michigan. As we enter the second minute of play, first quarter, Michigan's first possession offensively. And a tight look at Bob Zurbrugg, the sophomore quarterback. Back to throw on 3rd down. Pass is caught over the middle for a first down. Sim Nelson, the receiver on the play, and Steve Heyman, the strong safety, made the tackle.
They were looking outside for the wide receiver in the back going to the outside, and the tight end came open over the middle. But you have to give credit to the offensive line, because there was, for Zurbrugg, there was an awful lot of time to throw the football.
Jokish wide to the right side. Vince Bean to the near side to the left. First down, Michigan, their own 35. This is Rogers. Excellent pursuit by Brigham Young. Steve Heyman, the strong safety, and Mark Allen, the right cornerback, chased him out of bounds.
When we talk about Brigham Young defense, Howard, that's a classic example of trying to run wide. And Steve Heyman, number 42, you're going to see him to the outside. Now watch, Rogers is going to be man with ends up with the ball, but look at how they string it out to the outside. Govea, number 34, is the linebacker. He was supposed to take the quarterback. He did that. Then Steve Heyman, the corner, comes up, makes the play.
Loss of 3 on the play. 2nd down and 13 for Michigan for their own 32-yard line. Zurbrugg. A little bit too high at the 45-yard line, intended for Vince Bean.
Marv Allen, number 49, just put the pressure on Zurbrugg. He really didn't have enough time to throw the ball. Got some zip on the ball, but did not hit his target. A little bit too high.
Sim Nelson comes out of the ball game, replaced by the tight end number 81, Eric Cadis. Nelson seemed to have a bit of an arm injury in the first sequence of plays, but he has come back since that time. They have a 3rd and 13 play for Michigan from their own 32-yard line. Zurbrugg looking for Bean. Excellent reception by Vince Bean, close to a first down at the 45-yard line. Vince Bean, scouts will tell you, is as good a pro prospect as Bo Schembechler has on his team.
You cannot throw a prettier pass than Zurbrugg threw on this play to Vince Bean. There is protection there. Zurbrugg has time. But just take a look where the ball is. To the outside, no chance for number 25, Sproles, to get to the football. Bean catches it on the way out. He didn't have time to look. I don't believe he picked up the first down. He may be about a half a yard short.
Zurbrugg completed 57% of his passes during the year. Remember, he was a 3rd-string quarterback when they went to spring practice. And it is a first down for the Wolverines. Needed by the laces, Paul.
Yeah, the very fat laces.
Michigan coming out throwing the football here early on. You know, somebody once said that teams that throw the ball exceptionally well defend against the pass well. BYU throws it as well as anybody around in college football.
And I don't think Michigan wants to get in the third and long situations where they really have to throw the ball. They want to control the football, control the clock, and keep BYU off the field.
12 and a half minutes to play first quarter. Michigan in the initial drive from their own 45-yard line. Rogers running into a bevy of blue shirts led by Kurt Govea, the weak side linebacker, junior from Hawaii. Rogers, a senior from Inkster, Michigan. 6'2", 216 pounds.
You know, we talk all week long, and everybody's talking about how does Brigham Young handle the pressure being number one. You just wonder sometimes how Michigan handles it being ignored all week long, and it's really what happened to him. You don't read that much about him. You don't see that much. You're talking about, is BYU number one? Should they be number one? I think Michigan is showing that they've handled it very well.
Jokic goes out, and Gilvani Johnson is in at flanker. Rogers on the sweep. 50 into BYU territory near the 46-yard line. It'll be third down coming up in about a yard and a half. Gary Whittingham, the left side linebacker from Provo, Utah, making the tackle for BYU.
Steve Heyman played this so well. Number 42, watch him. He takes on the block, but he'll get back into the play. His job was to turn the running back, who is Rogers, into the defense. Watch what he does. He takes on the block, spins back. Here comes Rogers. Kyle Morrell, number 5, makes the tackle, but I think Heyman made the play.
2 tight ends in the game for Michigan. Bean goes out. Caddis comes in. Third down and just about 2 yards for first. Loose ball, Gerald White, short of a first down. Tremendous play. Leon White and Steve Heyman, the strong safety. He's the one that strung out the play very well.
Steve Heyman did it again. Gerald White, number 22, dropped the toss from the quarterback, and Heyman was back in the back, taking on the blocker again and making the play down on the ground.
So the Michigan punting unit comes on. Number 43, Monty Robbins, averages 44 yards per kick. Number 23, Vei Sakahama, is standing back at the 10-yard line. Averages just under 10 yards per return on punts. There's Robbins' punt. Wobbly spiral. Takes a Michigan roll inside the 15. To the 10-yard line, and BYU is backed up at their own 10. So Michigan comes up empty on their first drive, and they held the ball a while. 10:16 to play. First quarter. There is no score in the game. We'll be right back in just a moment. Morrell shaken up on the last defensive sequence for Brigham Young. He says he's all right. The senior from Bountiful, Utah. 6'2", 184-pounder. So the explosive offense. So the Cougars of BYU come out of the field. Led by number 6, Robbie Bosco. Number 1 in total offense in America. And they go to the ground to no avail. Wake Haimuli, the ball carrier for BYU, loses about 3 on the play because Tim Anderson, the interior linebacker, was there on the spot.
Surprise you?
What, they're running the ball?
Yeah. Well, Lavelle Edwards told us they put 3 more running plays in this week, and they're up to a total 6. All right, Hamuli's going to come out number 35. It is a draw play. Hammerstein, number 66, is the man that makes the play, and the linebackers are blitzing.
Well, to bring up the 2nd and 14, BYU. They get back to the original line of scrimmage, and that is about all. Hey, Mooley, tackled by Mike Mallory, the right side linebacker for Michigan. Mallory and his brother Mike Mallory and Doug Mallory, their dad, the head football coach at Indiana. Must be an interesting matchup when Michigan plays Indiana, right?
And the other thing, there are 7 sets of brothers on Michigan's team. They're not all dressed and playing. Some are freshmen.
Third down play, and Bosco has got a first down and more to the 29-yard line. Brad Cochran was there to make the tackle on Glenn Kozlowski.
Now, even if it's the first time Robbie Bosco throws the ball, you're not ever going to question anymore, can he throw the ball, because he hits Kozlowski between 4 defenders, right on target, in full stride. Kozlowski, if he had broken the 1 tackle, would have been gone.
A 19-yard pickup on the play and a first down. Brigham Young with 8:52 to play first quarter. BYU's first offensive series. Kozlowski out wide to the left side. With a backfield split, Bosco back to throw. Dumps it off to Heimuli. Has a first down and more to midfield. Doug Mallory made the stop on the play on Loke Heimuli. The sophomore, 5'11", 207 pounds from Hawaii. 21-yard pickup for Brigham Young and a first down.
The one thing about Brigham Young, you must watch everybody because Heimuli's going to come out 35. Look at the right of your screen. Here's Heimuli, but he's going to run over Hicks, number 17, and a few other people until he picks up the first down.
The draw to Heimuli, slowed up at the line of scrimmage and loses a couple on the play. Back at the 45-yard line, Mike Mallory. The leading tackler makes the stop on this man, Loke Heimuli.
Scarcelli, the defense of the outside linebacker, is the man that hit Heimuli in the backfield, and that's a 5-yard loss? Now let throw again.
In his 13th season, this man, Lavelle Edwards, head football coach at Brigham Young, 23rd season overall at BYU. Bellini in the game now for Brigham Young. 2nd and 15. Bosco, short of the intended receiver, David Mills, the tight end. I think it's interesting about David Mills. He led the Cougars in receiving with 60 receptions this year, but his per-catch average is shocking for a tight end, 17 yards per reception.
Well, they use their tight end. The outside receivers make it possible, too, because you've got Haysbert, Kozlowski, Bellini to play on the outside. They've got great moves, not great speed. And then you get a chance to use the tight end. Heimuli, that time, number 35, the fullback was out into the flat, no one within 10 yards of him.
Bellini and Kozlowski come out wide to the right side. 3rd and 15, Brigham Young. Kozlowski in motion. Might have turned upfield too soon. Bosco looking long, and it is intercepted by Michigan at the 35-yard line. Brad Cochran. There is a marker on the play, but I'm feeling it's going to go against BYU for illegal motion. The interception will stand up.
Threw into double coverage on the outside. They had the short and the long, the safety in the corner, covering Kozlowski.
Motion, offense, penalty is decline. Ball goes over.
Ball thrown short, not taking anything weight, but Cochran played it very well, had his eye on the ball. Interception.
Robbie Bosco only threw 11 interceptions in all of 1984. 7:34 to play, first quarter. There is no score in the game. We'll be right back after these words from your local station. California, and our cameraman Don Pearsall. High atop Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego, California. Chris Zerbrug, the sophomore quarterback of Michigan. Perryman across the 40-yard line to the 45, and looks to be enough for a first down.
Well, we know that Morrell is all right, and Heyman's going to come up and make the play. The blocking in the line, just beautiful. Govea doesn't make a tackle. There goes Morrell. He gets run over by Perryman, and Heyman is the man that makes the tackle, number 42.
Wonder how Kyle Morrell is feeling now. It looked like he was shaken up on the first defensive sequence for Brigham Young. And whether or not he's 100% now. A gain of 10 on the play and a first down. Perryman straight ahead for about 4 yards. Govea, the weak side linebacker for Brigham Young, in on the stop. Bob Perryman, a junior from Buzzard Bay, Massachusetts.
Got to be mean.
We're talking some mean here.
What the like Buzzard Bay.
Gain of 4 on the play, 2nd and 6, Michigan with 6:40 to play first quarter. There's no score in the game. Michigan's second offensive series after a turnover, an interception of a Robbie Bosco pass. Zerbrug on the pump fake, looking for a lot, and he gets nothing. Thrown it too far. Intended for Triandel Markray, the flanker, number 18.
Markray made an out move on Sproles and then an up move. Zerbrug read it fine, threw it to the outside, too far to the outside, but Sproles, number 25. Jeff Sproles did not take the fake, played it beautifully.
BYU Cougar leading on his Chargers out there on the field. Speaking of the Chargers, you're on the same stadium turf as the San Diego Chargers play right here at Jack Murphy Stadium. 3rd and 6th play coming up Michigan. BYU showing blitz. Zerbrook to the outside. I don't believe the pass is going to be ruled complete. I think he was juggling it. Paul Jokic was juggling the ball as he carried it out of bounds. He had his feet down in time, but did not have control of the ball.
Jokic really did not control the ball, but look where Zerbrook's throwing the football. He is throwing the ball very, very well to the outside. Watch this. Jokic has the ball in his hand, should have made the catch, did not have control going out of bounds, and even though he dragged his leg, he dragged it out of bounds.
So the Michigan punter, Monty Robbins. To Sikahema. Robbins juggles the snap but comes away and kicks a beauty. Sikahema at the 12. Excellent downfield coverage by the Wolverines. Michigan special teams working well on that play, and it's BYU's ball. No score in the ball game with 6:17 to play. First quarter, a 39-yard punt by Robbins. No score in the game. We will be right back to Jack Murphy Stadium in just a moment. Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego is the contingent of Wolverine fans and the band. They played before the ball game. They are sensational. Thus far, Michigan with 28 offensive yards on the ground. BYU -5. BYU not noted to be a great running team. Go more by the pass, and Bosco to Kozlowski. Taken out of bounds at around the 19-yard line by Garland Rivers, the strong corner.
You think Kozlowski didn't come to play? Did you see the forearm that he hit Garland Rivers with? They're going to throw it out. Here goes Robbie Bosco out to Kozlowski. What's the end of the play? Kozlowski gets the ball. He's still in bounds, and watch his left arm. Bang. He's still standing. Rivers on the ground.
Probably had to spend many a Sunday afternoon defending against his brother, right? Or catching balls against his brother Mike, who's a nickelback for the Miami Dolphins. And they throw the ball not too shabbily.
5,000 yards?
I guess so. Mills in motion. Hey, Mooley. Not much to the 20, but it's probably all he needed. Had to get through just about the 20-yard line for a first down. Mike Mallory, the linebacker for Michigan, making the stop on the play. It's going to be close to a first down. Looks to be enough for a BYU first down with 6:07 to play first quarter. Still no score in the game. Interesting thing to note about BYU, they have scored in 44 of 48 quarters this year. And 2 quarters, when it was so far out of reach, they kind of laid back a little bit. Not as severe as John McKay did a week ago, but nevertheless, it was all right. Bosco. Kelly Smith, the receiver, for a chunk of yards, about 8 on the play. Garland Rivers chased him out, along with Tim Anderson.
You know, it's so incredible. I would not want to defense this team, and they talk about all they do, they throw the football. Look at this record, 117, 37, and 1. They throw the ball all the time, you know, and you criticize. If they ran the ball all the time, they would be criticized. If you have a mixture, they're criticized. For LaVell Edwards with this team, every single man out there, they have 5 potential receivers at all times.
Kozlowski to the left side. Haysbert, Bellini rather, in motion as Bosco goes back. Kozlowski with a diving reception and a first down at the 34-yard line. There is a marker on the play, probably roughing the passer, and Bosco is shaken up.
And he is limping.
LaVell Edwards right now has the Adam's apple in his throat very tight. Let's listen to the call of Wendell Shelton.
He got up limping.
We have illegal shift against the offense. We have roughing the passer against the defense. The penalty's offset. Replay down.
Crowd is booing because Bosco is hurt on the play. And if they lose Robbie Bosco, they're in severe trouble, to say the least. Blaine Fowler is the backup quarterback, and Bosco has got a lot of pain on his face. Blaine Fowler is only a junior. And he is the number 2 quarterback. If Bosco cannot return, BYU has got a big problem. And that is the understatement of the night.
Yeah, but how about a great opportunity for Fowler, too, coming into the ball game? And he can still throw the ball. He's got a good arm. And they've got an awful lot of receivers that can catch the football.
Fowler on the air, a 65% completion percentage. It's going to be a 2nd and 2 play. Brigham Young at their own 28-yard line. Michigan showing blitz. And Fowler wants to put it up right away. Pass is knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Jim Scarcelli was the man that deflected the pass. And it will bring up a 3rd down.
First of all, it is tough. Fowler coming in, sitting out, not throwing the ball for over an hour, and then Fowler comes in. Scarcelli, you're going to see the big hand right there. Just timed the ball perfectly. There was a man open, Kelly Smith, number 21, the halfback, out in the flat that would have gotten him the first down had the ball been there. Scarcelli made a great play.
Meanwhile, you're seeing the feet of Robbie Bosco. He's got an injured ankle. Hurt on the last play, the previous play, and they're testing whether or not he can stand on both feet. Timeout is called for by Brigham Young University with 4:47 to play, first quarter. No score in the game. Blaine Fowler is now in it, quarterback for the BYU Cougars. We will be right back to Jack Murphy Stadium in just a moment.
Every once in a while, something unexpected.
All right, I'm on the sideline with Dr. Jack Walker, one of the team doctors at BYU, at the condition of Robbie Bosco.
Well, Robbie probably has sustained a first-degree medial collateral ligament tear. He may be able to come back. It's too early to say at this point in time.
All right, it sounds like a severe injury, but you suggest he might be able to play.
Well, it's a stress to the ligament. We don't know that it's torn, and they've taken him into the dressing room to examine him right now.
All right, thank you. Back to Howard and Paul.
All right, Mike. Fowler, broken play, looked to be that. And yet enough for a first down. Ivan Hicks defending on the play. On the receiver, the tight end, David Mills. Bosco, while he was in there, was 4 of 6 for 57 yards, had 1 interception.
Howard, watch this. The play action pass. Watch how it freezes the linebackers. Keeps everybody to the inside. And when that happens, you got David Mills going out. Really, the coverage by Hicks was not that bad, but they only had to pick up 2 yards.
It's enough for a first down. BYU, 1st and 10, their own 34-yard line with 4:17 to play, first quarter. If you've just tuned our way, Robbie Bosco is injured. It could be a torn ligament in his right ankle. Fowler looking for help. And manages to pick up 3 or 4 yards on the play on the scramble. Mike Mallory defending on the play for the Michigan Wolverines.
Michigan defensive line drove the offensive line back into the quarterback. Now Fowler is only 5'11". Robbie Bosco 6'2½". Watch this Michigan line take the offensive line back to the quarterback. That's Brooks, 52. Fowler can't see over, so he ducks underneath, goes upfield, and picks up 3 or 4 yards.
Mike Hammerstein also helping out on the play, the defensive tackle. Interesting matchup is going on down in the trenches between Al Sinsich, the middle guard of Michigan, and Trevor Matich, the 6'4½", 262-pound center of Brigham Young. Second down play. Fowler has got the receiver. What looks to be close to a first down. Garland Rivers defending on the play. Lorke Haimuli, the fullback, coming out of the backfield. Bosco has a knee ligament strain. That is all we know at this point. We'll keep on top of that story, which could very well be key to Brigham Young's fortune tonight.
Well, Haimuli should have the first down. At least he should have had it when he first caught the ball, but I think he's got it anyway. Yeah.
BYU Cougars average nearly 500 yards in total offense per ball game and 37 points per game. I don't believe they have been shut out in the first quarter of any ball game this year, but right now they have not put anything on the board with still 3 minutes to play in the quarter.
You know, you say, all right, look out, Robbie Bosco's out, and you've got Blaine Fowler in there. This is when an offensive team and a defensive team, they pick themselves up and play even better than they're capable of playing.
Kozlowski out to the right side, and Bellini comes in motion. Excellent reception by the tight end, David Mills. It'll be short of a first down. Tim Anderson defending over there for the Wolverines. Anderson, a senior from Ann Arbor, Michigan. As you get a look at David Mills, the senior from Sandy, Utah.
8-yard gain, 2. All right, here's Fowler now. The offensive line, they're picking up very well. You see the guard shifting down, and I moves down, takes up the blitzer. And here's Fowler. He's going to throw to Mills. Now look, you've got a linebacker, Anderson, covering Mills at tight end. That's not going to happen.
So it will bring up a second down and about 3 yards as you look at Glenn Kozlowski, the wide receiver for Brigham Young. 55 receptions on the year. Fowler with good protection. Has enough for a first down, but he stepped out of bounds, but not before we recorded a first down. Chased out of there by Tim Anderson. Heads up play by the quarterback, Blaine Fowler of Brigham Young.
Number 90, Vince DeFelice was the defensive end on that side and defensive tackle, and he had some pressure on it, but Fowler, reading well, knowing that he didn't have anyone open downfield, went to the outside, picks up the first down. That's heads-up football.
Fowler was heavily recruited by Penn State, by Pittsburgh, by Purdue, and elected to come to Brigham Young. And right now, Lavelle Edwards is glad he did. Tough situation. Robbie Bosco is out of the ball game with what might be a torn ligament. First down play. Fowler trying to get out of the hold. What a play. Anderson for Michigan makes the tackle on Kelly Smith, I believe, number 21, but there is a marker on the play.
All right, look at Fowler now. In pro football, first of all, right here, he would be in the grasp. They would protect the quarterback. Doesn't happen in college football. He sees Kelly Smith downfield, dumps the ball over. It's going to come back. There's a penalty against Brigham Young. It's going to come back, but it's what a heads-up play.
All right, Paul, you played linebacker in the pros, defensive-oriented man. You prepare yourself to play Robbie Bosco, and now you've got another man in the ball game, Blaine Fowler. Change your thinking at all, or is everything still status quo?
It's status quo for the simple reason when you're playing defense. Well, let's hear what this call is first, then we'll come back.
Motion, offense, first down.
You play status quo hard because you're playing against the receivers that are coming out. They're not going to change their patterns. They're still going to run the same pass patterns that the defense went against all week long or for the last 2 weeks. So that thing doesn't change. You may want to put a little more pressure on the quarterback because he's not been in there that many times.
All right, first and 15, Brigham Young. Kelly Smith on the sweep to the 49 of Michigan. Gets back 1 of the 5 yards they were penalized.
Now we've got another injured player.
The injured BYU player is left tackle Dave Wright, number 78. This offensive line of Brigham Young, in one article, they were called the Candymen. Greg Garrett, Trevor Matich, Robert Ainai, and Louis Wong. Ainai is celebrating his birthday today. He's 26 years old today. Now, most people will say, well, how does a 26-year-old still play college football? BYU has a voluntary program where some of the players and some of the students in BYU go on missions to various parts of the world, in some cases 2 years.
Well, what about Marv Allen now? There's the great story of all night long. Marv Allen, number 49, he's a middle linebacker, one of the middle linebackers. He played in the first Holiday Bowl 7 years ago. He was a freshman. They redshirted him a year. He went on a mission for 2 years, and now he's back playing in the 7th Holiday Bowl.
Second and 13, Brigham Young from the 49 of Michigan. Kelly Smith, the intended receiver, started running before he had control of the football, and it's going to bring up 3rd and long. Now, BYU, which has not run the ball effectively all year, now is running the ball more in the first quarter, probably more than they have all season.
Well, they ran the ball when they were down at the 10-yard line coming out, just to get the feel of the Michigan blockers, get the feel of the offense, let your offensive line pop a few times. But you're right, they do not, they won't run the ball that much. I got to go back to that line of Lavelle Edwards. That was great, putting in 3 more plays. Now they doubled their offensive running power.
Trevor Molini comes in at tight end, a second tight end for BYU on a 3rd and 13 play. Fowler throwing back against the play, but an excellent defensive play by Michigan's Stephen Thibbert. Thibbert made the play, in that he played off the block and made the tackle on the receiver.
Thibault makes the play, and you know, it's a tough situation to be out there, especially when you see 3 blockers coming down, and you know it's a screen pass. He's got to sacrifice his body. That time he did, made the play, saved the first down. BYU punts.
So Lee Johnson, who averages 45.5 yards per kick, will come on for Brigham Young. Gilvani Johnson in single coverage. There you get a look at Gilvani Johnson. And Lee Johnson puts good foot to it. Takes a BYU roll inside the 5 and down there. Lee Johnson with a 45-yard punt. And BYU downs it at the 2-yard line of Michigan. Salanoa is the man you see there. He's the one who downed it for BYU at the 2-yard line, but there's a marker on the play. Personal foul against Brigham Young.
That personal foul, Howard, is up around the 26-yard line.
Lavelle Edwards, normally a mild-mannered man, and right now his stomach has got to be going like 10 diesels at one time. That is the end of the first quarter. And as soon as we get the call from the official, that will officially signal the end of the first quarter of play.
Have a dead ball, personal foul against the kicking team. That is the end of the first quarter.
So signaled by Wendell Shelton, the referee for the 7th Holiday Bowl. There is no score in the game. We have completed the first quarter of play. Michigan nothing, Brigham Young nothing. We'll be right back after these words from your local station. The near side of the field, Brigham Young's fans erupted when this man came back out of the training room, Robbie Bosco. Initial report was there might have been a ligament strain or ligament tear. I doubt seriously if it's ligament tear. He would not be, although he's heavily limping, as you can see. He is hurting. Michigan has the ball. 1st and 10, first play, second quarter from their own 16. Rogers straight ahead to about the 20-yard line. BYU came up with the ball after the play was blown dead. Number 41, Leon White.
Leon White took the ball out of Rogers' hands when Rogers was standing up.
You can tell there's a heavy contingent of BYU fans here. Every time a play goes against the Cougars, the boos ring throughout Jack Murphy Stadium.
He can't run, Robbie Bosco. He's limping when he steps back. He can't put any pressure on it. And he's done so much, and you can't really take a chance.
All right, Michigan with the ball as they come to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 6, Wolverines in the I formation with Perryman and Rogers the setbacks. This is Rogers. Big hole up the middle. Across the 30-yard line. Let's go down to Mike Smith.
All right, Howard David, I just talked with Robbie Bosco. He said his knee is sore, but he thinks he can play. He wants to get back in there. The BYU receivers were around Blaine Fowler a moment ago, giving him some encouragement. But again, Bosco says he wants to get back in there. He thinks he can do it.
All right, it's his knee.
If you're going to put him in there, they better take him in the shotgun. He's shaking his head. He can't put any pressure on his knee.
1st down, Michigan, their own 34-yard line. Perryman off left tackle. The interesting thing to note, Paul, is that it's his left knee, so it's not his plant foot. So maybe he doesn't have to put all that much pressure on it, except it's got to be nagging at him.
Well, you still have to plant and use your leg when you're running back and dropping back and to stop and do the things that he has to do. You can see he's in pain. I don't think we're going to see him.
We have 13:50 to play second quarter. There is still no score in the ball game. But Bosco being out is part of that reason, although Michigan's defense has played exceptionally well. Zerbrug on the option. This is Rogers. Short of a 1st down. Chased out of there by Kyle Morrell, the weak safety.
Kyle Morrell came out of that defensive secondary. The corner went off with the wide receiver. Kyle Morrell was late reading the play on the option going down the field, but he made up the ground and stopped it.
Head coach Bo Schembechler. Look at that record. Best record among active college coaches. It's going to be a third down on the yard for Bo Schembechler's Michigan Wolverines. The word we get is that Bosco will try to play if he can put any kind of pressure at all on that knee. Rogers is 7 carries, 32 yards. Perryman for a first down, and he's going to be short. Don't believe he made it. Good surge by Marv Allen. Again, the story of this game comes down to this man's leg, Robbie Bosco's left knee. Okay, let's turn it in. Tonight is the night the trainer earns his money.
Well, you're looking at it. So there is a tape job on the ankles before the game. Now they're taping the knee, pulling back. He wants to turn his foot so to take some of the pressure off it.
It's short of a first down. Last year at the Florida Citrus Bowl, we did the game between Maryland and Tennessee, and Boomer Esiason was taken out of that game early on for Maryland. That hampered the Terrapins. They went on to lose to Tennessee in that ball game. Now here we're seeing a number 1 quarterback, perhaps certainly one of the top 2 quarterbacks in America, Robbie Bosco now. Might not see any more action today. It's going to be a fourth down play and a punting situation.
I wouldn't punt.
Sikahema, the man deep. Fair catch called for by Sikahema, and it goes out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Marty Robbins punt gives BYU the ball at their own 20-yard line. There is no score on the game with 12:33 to play, second quarter. We'll be back to Jack Murphy Stadium, the site of Holiday Bowl 7.
Just talked to the doctor. Robbie Bosco will be going back into the game. He's got a tear of the medial collateral and an ankle sprain, grade 2 ankle sprain. They don't feel that he can injure himself permanently, so he will go back in the game and give it a try.
Meanwhile, Blaine Fowler is in the game for BYU, and the blitz is on. Reception is made by number 12, David Mills, the tight end. Excellent work between the tight end and the quarterback, Blaine Fowler. Garland Rivers, the strong corner for Michigan, in on the play.
Look at this. This is the bootleg, but look what Fowler. There's Hammerstein out there. Number 85, Scarcelli is out there. But Fowler gets the ball to Mills. The man who makes the tackle, Garland Rivers, number 13, was out of bounds, came back in and made the play.
Number 6 has come back into the game for BYU. This man is doing a gut check right now. Robbie Bosco. An ankle sprain, a knee injury, and he's back on the field, and he's going to put it upstairs right away. Pass is incomplete. Broken up by Rodney Lyles. Robbie Bosco is chased down here, Paul.
I'm just looking at him. Right now, he doesn't appear that tape job worked. He's not limping going back, and he's throwing this ball going away, and they're going to hit him every chance they get because they know he's hurt now. I really didn't think, if you're talking ligaments in the knee, I didn't think he'd be back.
Mike Mallory, who's as important to anybody's defense, and this guy is to Michigan's defense, no question about it, is being helped off the field, although he comes off on his own power. Third down play for Brigham Young. It's 3rd and 3 from their own 27-yard line. While Fowler was in the ball game, he was 5 of 7, but only for 26 yards. Kozlowski comes out wide to the left side. Bosco, quick release. Kelly Smith and a first down across the 30-yard line. Garland Rivers defending on the play. In case you have just tuned our way, Robbie Bosco was injured in the first quarter. He is back in the game. He is heavily taped. Has a phase 1 tear of a ligament on the left knee and a slight ankle sprain. Jeff Akers is in the game in place of Mike Mallory at the interior linebacker spot for Michigan. Bellini in the game now at wide receiver for Brigham Young. 1st and 10, BYU's Cougars.
I like to know what a phase 1 is.
It's more severe, I think, than phase 2, or not as severe as phase 2. I want to go back to one thing. Before you said you questioned whether or not Michigan should have punted on 4th down with the ball at midfield.
Now when you're a 6-5 record, you got 4th and inches.
All right, you brought up shotgun. Here's Robbie Bosco in the shotgun. He wasn't ready, but he still comes up with it. Kelly Smith, close to a first down. Bosco was not ready for the snap and still managed to hold on to the ball.
Trevor Maddich, number 50, centered the ball. Robbie Bosco was looking at the defensive secondary. It's a good thing that Maddich put the ball right in his stomach. Otherwise, the ball would have been gone to the end zone. Robbie Bosco looked up real quick, saw Kelly Smith out in the flat, delivered the ball to him.
Trevor Maddich is an excellent center. He's third-team All-America, 23 years of age. As you look at Glenn E. Bo Schembechler, one of the most talked-about coaches in America, although this week he elected not to talk to us.
That's right.
But we're not alone. First and 10. Bosco again finds Kelly Smith at the 50-yard line and a first down. BYU inside the 45. Jeff Akers, who came in for Mike Mallory, makes his tackle for Michigan.
3 straight passes in a row to Kelly Smith, and they're not covering Kelly Smith. He's coming out of the backfield. You see the linebackers blitzing 57, Tim Anderson. Someone's got to take the back coming out of the backfield. That time, no one did. Hammerstein, number 66, is a defensive tackle, but he looked like he would have been the man in coverage. I don't think so, though.
Michigan playing a deep zone, and they're giving BYU the short stuff. They don't want to get burned long. Again, out of the shotgun on first down with the 44-yard line of Michigan. Mooley inside the 40. Brad Cochran, the weak corner. Radney Lyles. Mike Mallory has come back into the ball game. He was also in on the play. Going to bring up the second down at about 6 for BYU. We have 10:35 to play second quarter. Holiday Bowl 7, Howard David with Paul McGuire. Mike Smith and Greg Wyatt, our sideline reporters tonight. Dave Meredith comes into the ball game for Michigan in defense, replacing Kevin Brooks.
Well, I got one thing right. I didn't say Bosco was coming in. I didn't think he would, but I said if he did, he'd go to the shotgun.
Bosco, incomplete. There's a marker on the play. Now, the pressure that's being put now on the offensive line for Brigham Young, Paul, is something we might want to address. They're going to get called, I think, they may get called for a holding call here. Is there too much pressure now on the offensive line of BYU?
Well, what happens now, here we go, let's see it.
Oh, it's a legal procedure.
Legal procedure. It'll be second down in about 9. What happens now is the defensive line, they really don't have to worry too much run at all now because they know that Bosco's sitting back in the shotgun, that 99% of the time he's going to throw the football. So the defensive lineman can tee off. What you must do at least one time is have some kind of a draw play or a sweep play.
Formation, offense, penalties decline, third down.
Where Bosco gets the ball and hands it to one of the backs just to slow down the defensive line.
Lavelle Edwards, in his 13th season as the head coach at BYU, has taken the Cougars to 9 bowl games in 13 years, 7 of which are Holiday Bowls. Bosco out of a shotgun.
Oh, no.
And he's going to run in that bad knee and bad ankle. Well, you got to like this kid's guts. You have to.
I'm going to tell you right now, I cannot believe what they say is wrong with him is wrong with him. He might have an ankle sprain and maybe a slight knee sprain, but there's no ligament damage. Watch Robbie Bosco. He sees it. He doesn't want to run, but look what he does. As he gets the first down here, he could go down. Wrong. He's going to go back to the outside. Tim Anderson, the linebacker, misses him. He's tied up downfield. Bosco does go down, but after he picked up 8 more yards.
At a first down, BYU at the 26-yard line of Michigan. 9:40 to play, second quarter. There is no score. BYU's best penetration. Kelly Smith inside the 20 and close to another first down. Mallory. Mike Mallory, who took a shot in the back a few minutes ago, back in the game with help from his brother Doug.
If you're going to play this defense, you must put a linebacker on the halfback and the fullback coming out of the backfield because it's going to be run and catch between Robbie Bosco throwing the ball to Kelly Smith, picking up 8 to 10 yards every time they do it because they don't have anyone that's covering. They're doubling the outside guys, and they know they can only double 2 people.
About a foot to go for a first down. Bosco waiting for Adam Haysbert, who just came into your picture with a play from the sidelines.
The end of the first quarter, that one set, Brigham Young 81 yards total offense, and Michigan 47. Remember now, they average 486 yards a game and over 30 points. And so far, it's scoreless. 9:06 to play, second quarter. Second down play. Heimuli, first down, inside the 10, near the 5-yard line. Marquet Heimuli, the sophomore, dropped by Doug Mallory, but not before. The young man from Hawaii picks up a first down.
Watch the footwork of Heimuli. Continuous effort. He goes to the line. There's the hole. Jammed up. Heimuli breaks it back to the outside. He's taped up. Well, I think that's just an equipment deal. And then there goes Heimuli. Doug Mallory finally makes a tackle. But watch this. Heimuli goes in. He gets blocked from Kelly Smith. He gets an excellent block in the hole. Bounces off of Smith. Back to the outside, first down.
First and goal, 3 tight ends in the game. Kelly Smith, touchdown.
Outstanding block by the left guard, Greg Garrick, number 59. He opens the hole to the outside. Kelly Smith in. Kelly Smith's doing it all. He's catching the ball, running the ball, but you got excellent blocking.
Mark Allen will hold the extra point try by Lee Johnson. He is 43 of 46 in point-after touchdowns this year, the left-footed kicker. And he nails it. Well, it took a while, but we have 8:37 to play, second quarter. At the 7th Holiday Bowl, as you get a look at Kelly Smith going in for the game's first score. It is BYU 7, Michigan nothing. Jack Murphy Stadium, San Diego, California, and a view from the Goodyear Blimp Columbia. There's the scoring drive, 11 plays, 80 yards. Not quite 4 minutes, and Kelly Smith. Actually a 5-yard touchdown run on first and goal. There's a happy Kelly Smith. The junior from Beaver, Utah. Jamie Morris, whose brother Joe just flew into town about an hour and a half ago with the Giants. Watches it go out of the end zone just before the end line. Goes another 3 yards, and they bring it out to the 30. This will be brought out to the 20.
On that touchdown run by Kelly Smith, there were 3 good blocks. Wright, first of all, caves down, the offensive tackle. And here comes 59, Garrick, right into your picture. Heimuli's outside. Garrick, there's his block. And Heimuli, you're going to see his man on the ground. Smith walks into the end zone. Isn't that beautiful?
Kelly Smith scored 5 touchdowns this year. Averaged just under 7 yards per carry. So Michigan now down 7-0. From their own 20-yard line with Vince Bean in motion. Rodgers straight ahead for good yardage of about 5. Kurt Govea, the weak side linebacker, was there first. Rodgers at 1,000 yards. In 1983 on the ground, this year hampered by knee injuries, only picked up 467 yards. But still a proven back. Michigan has had some good ones. One comes to mind, Coach Wolf Folk playing with the Giants. Had a great career at Michigan.
You get all those Giant players in, don't you?
Yeah, they all come in. Second down and 5 from their own 25-yard line. Wolverines have it. Second quarter, it's 7-0 BYU. Rodgers dropped at the line of scrimmage. Leon White, the strong side linebacker. Meanwhile, if you just tuned our ways, you can look at Bo Schembechler. Robbie Bosco was hurt in the first quarter. He has since come back into the ballgame and led BYU to a touchdown drive, but they still have ice on his knee, and his ankle, rather, as you get a look at it.
I think it's more ankle injury than it is knee injury, Howard.
That seems to be the story. Gilvani Johnson out wide on the left side for Michigan. It's 3rd and 4. BYU showing blitz. And they got him. There's a loose ball. I think Michigan has recovered the ball at the 16-yard line. Leon White came in on the blitz. Number 41.
Leon White made a nice play on Rogers on the last play. The linebackers patient enough, stayed to the outside, made the tackle. Now this time you're going to see Leon White coming from the right-hand side. You don't see him in the picture yet. Here it comes. He comes into the outside. No one blocks him. The back goes out into the flat. Leon White comes in. There's no place to go. And down.
Bay Sikahema in single coverage for BYU. Monty Robbins is in trouble.
A lot of trouble.
BYU is going to get the ball at the 5-yard line. Rodney Thomas for Brigham Young has come up with a big play.
Monty Robbins up to this time had 3 punts for a 37-yard average. He just took too long. BYU figured we're not going to gamble and they see something from upstairs.
It is Thor Salanoa that made the play for Brigham Young. Thomas was in there, but Salanoa, I think, is the man that got to him first. There is a timeout called for, I think, by Michigan. With 6:36 to play, second quarter. BYU leading 7-0. And now they've set the clock back in motion. It'll be BYU's ball, first and goal at the Michigan 5. After trapping Monty Robbins at the 5-yard line, the Michigan punter. Bosco looking for Smith, and he throws it underneath for David Mills, and Bosco is taken down, but he's all right. He was hit after he threw it. He is a marked man right now.
Well, the play, you got first and goal at the 5. What do? You run a rollout with Robbie Bosco. He hits Mills, the tight end. They pick up 3 yards on a play. But a rollout with Robbie, he's limping all over the place. But look at the catch Mills makes. He's there, number 17. Hicks is also there. No touchdown, but it's 2nd and 3.
2 tight ends of the game for BYU. It's 2nd down and goal. Hey, Mooley can't get in. Maybe he got to the line of scrimmage, perhaps a yard on the play. Mike Mallory, Michigan's most valuable player on defense, was there first. Robbie Bosco, number 1 in total offense in America. Finished 3rd in the Heisman Trophy. Balloting behind, of course, Doug Flutie and Keith Byers of Ohio State.
All right, Salanoa's coming in, the fullback, number 33.
Hey, Mooley thus far has carried the ball 6 times for only 8 yards, and BYU is calling for a time. We have 5:58 to play, second quarter at the Holiday Bowl in San Diego, California. Brigham Young leading Michigan by the score of 7-0. We will be right back right after these messages. Goodyear, Blint, Columbia. And a sold-out Holiday Bowl 7. It's 3rd down and goal. BYU at the 2-yard line. Bosco in a rollout. He's going to try to run it in.
Fumbles the
ball at the goal line. It is in the end zone. I think Michigan has recovered in the end zone. Going to be a touchback.
Howard, Michigan did a tremendous job on the left-hand side of the defensive line and linebackers. They never let the receivers get off the line of scrimmage. And when Robbie Bosco rolled out, he had no one to throw to. On the left-hand side, if there was someone to cross, they were on the ground. The defense did a great job.
Kevin Brooks is the man that came up with the ball in the end zone for Michigan. That halts the BYU drive. With 5:49 to play, second quarter. Brigham Young leading Michigan 7-0. We will be right back after these words from your local stations. Play that thwarts the BYU offense, the most potent in the nation, and could not bring it in on a 1st and goal. They had 3 plays to bring it home. Chris Zerbrug for Michigan. With time. Vince Bean at the 40-yard line. All right, let's go back 1 play, Paul McGuire, to why Michigan got the ball.
Watch, when Robbie Bosco rolls out to his right, he's looking. None of his receivers are open. He can't find anyone. Michigan did such a great job at the line of scrimmage. Here comes Mallory, but the ball just pops out of Robbie Bosco's hands. He might have had the score picked up in the end zone. That ball went into the end zone, back out.
The marker was against Brigham Young. Obviously, it is refused by Michigan as they pick up 20 yards in the play. And it will bring up a first down for the Wolverines with 5:42 to play second quarter. Brigham Young leading 7-0.
And on that last play where Bean caught the ball, Zurbrugg went out to the outside play action pass. He looked to his 2 wide receivers. Neither one of them were open. He had all kinds of time to find Bean.
Bean and Jokic at the bottom of your screen, the 2 wideouts for Michigan. Rogers for 3 yards. Rogers has gained 41 yards on the ground. The rest of the Michigan team is -3. All right, let's get out of Greg Wyatt.
With us is Jimmy Harbaugh, the starting quarterback at the University of Michigan, went out in the 5th game with a broken arm. And Jimmy, how big a fumble recovery was that in the end zone?
Real big. It changed the whole momentum of this game. And if we can drive the ball down and score, we'll be right back in it.
Really, your Wolverines, playing the type of game they are, probably are not a good come-from-behind team.
Well, I don't know. I've never seen these guys more excited than they are tonight.
Well, we're playing number 1, BYU, and Michigan's on the move.
Meanwhile, Bob Perryman breaks it to the outside. He is tackled by Mark Allen, but not before he chunks out a big piece of real estate. And there's a Michigan player shaking up on the play, Bob Tabashino, the right guard.
Yeah, but look at the hole. Everybody blocks down. They block back down to the inside. And when they do that, Perryman breaks to the outside. No one in the secondary, as far as the linebackers, has a shot at him. And then number 22, Mark Allen, makes the play. But the blocking at the line of scrimmage is key here. Watch now, when Perryman gets past the line of scrimmage, there are no linebackers left. The linebackers are filling to the inside. Kyle Morrell, number 5, is chasing. Bud Allen makes the play.
27-yard pickup. As you look at Bob Tabashino, the left guard, he will be replaced by Mike Krause, a junior, 6'5", 263 pounds. This man has been in a lot of big games in his career. He's not done well in bowl games, 2-9 record, but his overall record is something to admire. 1st and 10, Michigan, 32-yard line of BYU. This is Gerald White. There's a marker down on the play. Gerald White tried to break it to the outside, the sophomore from Titusville, Florida. But there is a marker on the play. Illegal use of the hands against Michigan. That will bring it back. Surprising that BYU ahead 7-0, the most potent offensive attack certainly in a long time in college football.
Well, there's the holding. It's right at the top of the screen. You can see it. Here comes the holding in the outside. Perryman is going to grab Heyman right there by the arm. There, the flag goes down. Right underneath the flag. Isn't that cute?
Illegal use of the hands by the offense. First down.
It's the first penalty against Michigan in the ballgame.
Michigan, a good scouting report coming into this game, playing very well. The defense bending a little bit, give the ball up on the 5-yard line, and then hold Brigham Young. That's fantastic.
Michigan has been hit with less penalties than their opponents throughout 1984. 1st and 14 play, the draw to Rogers. Excellent play by number 55, David Neff, a senior from Salt Lake City, Utah.
That is a good play by a linebacker. It's a quick draw play to the halfback.
You like those plays by the linebackers, don't you?
Yeah, on both sides. I mean, they did a great job stopping Brigham Young down here. But when you see the linebacker Neff, if he doesn't make the tackle, Rogers is still running.
Gain of 3 on the play. It's 2nd down and 11, Michigan at the BYU 33-yard line. With 3:48 to play, second quarter, 7-0 Brigham Young. The blitz was on, but Zurbrugg gets it away and connection. Just outside the 20-yard line to Vince Bean. The pregame publicity on Vince Bean was that he was as good a pro prospect as Bo had at his ball club, and here's why.
And Zurbrugg, you can't fault his throwing. Take a look. He's staying in the pocket. Bean just breaks it up back in front of 2 defenders in the secondary. Allen's one of them. Morrell's the second, number 5, and picks up the first down. But the most important part of that is Bean went down past the first down marker and then came back to the ball.
Lavelle Edwards a little concerned right now. Vince Bean is projected to be a 1st or 2nd round draft choice. Perryman straight ahead. Michigan's had some good receivers of late. Jim Smith played with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Anthony Carter, he was probably as valuable a player in the USFL this year as anybody. Kerry Whittingham and Marv Allen in on a play for BYU. It'll bring up 2nd and 7.
Michigan's a patient ball club. I mean, they have not really gotten away from their game plan.
What Bo said he wanted to do. He said, because he didn't tell us directly, we kind of heard about it, but he said that we want to do is play ball control, keep it out of BYU's offensive hands. BYU showing blitz. 2nd and 7 play. Zurbrugg. Is it recovered?
Yes. No,
by BYU.
It
didn't go out of bounds. I believe it's out of bounds. Outside the 25. There's a marker on the play.
A lot of markers.
Might be unsportsmanlike conduct.
Was that Kyle Morrell, number 5, that dove on the ball? The pitch by Zurbrugg never got to the running back. Here it comes. Now watch the pitch. It's to Rogers to the outside. He's going to get hit right at the line of scrimmage by Govia. Here the ball goes out. Now you take a look at it here. Kyle Morrell, he has got the football. It should be BYU's ball.
Well, it should be, but unfortunately, Wendell Shelton and his staff don't agree, and they've thrown a flag against BYU for unsportsmanlike conduct. That's going to cost BYU a chunk of real estate.
And the ball.
If Lavelle had an opportunity to see replay, he'd know why his team is a little upset. He got up at 3:30 this morning. Let's take a listen.
Dead ball, non-contact foul, defense, 3rd down.
You know what non-contact is? That's where your lips get you in trouble.
Lavelle got up at 3:30 this morning to be interviewed by Good Morning America, and so did Barry Switzer, the head coach of Oklahoma, to discuss this #1 controversy. 3rd and 2, Michigan. Rogers trying to turn the corner. Slips out of one tackler and pays the price as he crosses the 15-yard line. He's going to lose about a yard on the play. And the extracurricular activities begin to heat up. Jeff Sproul's number 25 and Rogers exchanging shoves.
2 linebackers at work. First of all, Whittingham, who was number 53. Watch this. He forces the play. And then White. There's Whittingham right there. He sets it up, and watch White. Leon White, number 41, just trying to destroy Rogers.
So there's a timeout called for by Michigan with 2 minutes to play in the 2nd quarter. I don't think that Bo Schembechler wanted Zurbrugg to call a timeout. That seems to be his reaction.
It's 4th down. I think Zurbrugg might have done the right thing.
All right, we'll find out what unfolds when we return. 7-0, Brigham Young. We'll be right back in just a moment. Bob Bergeron will come on to try a field goal from 32 yards away out of the hold of number 99, Todd Schlopy. Try to get Michigan on the board with 2 minutes to play, 2nd quarter. BYU in front, 7-0. This right angle to the left. High snap. Kick's got plenty of distance, and it's good. But there is a penalty marker thrown on the play, so hold it.
And that's going to be against Kerry Whittingham, number 53, the linebacker.
Roughing the kicker. Now that will give Michigan a 1st down. With still 1 minute and 56 seconds to play, they'll throw away the 3 points, I believe, and try to get him 7.
All right, you're going to see 53 Whittingham, Kerry Whittingham come in. The leg is up, but he runs.
He got him.
That was a nice dive. Now look, Brigham Young, they got an unsportsmanlike conduct call when they should have had the football. Now in a 4th down situation. 1st down, Michigan. All right.
Running into the kicker by the defense. 1st down.
Yeah, remember that old saying that's always been in football, don't ever take points off the board?
No, but in this case, I would agree with Michigan's tactic.
Oh, I certainly do.
You can always get 3.
If they don't, yeah, but if they don't score, everybody writes, well, you should never take points off the board. 3 points, they're still down by 4. Go for it, Bo. You're doing the right thing.
So it's 1st and goal, Michigan.
BYU has been assessed 4 penalties for 40 yards. Rogers to the outside, slips one tackle, but can't get out of the grasp of number 25, Jeff Sprouse. He gets to the 5-yard line, and so it'll be 2nd down and goal for Michigan. Sean Knight and Dave Futrell come into the game for BYU.
Now, the pursuit of the Brigham Young team, just watch the defense, and you're going to see number 21, 25 Sprouse come all the way across, never lets the ball carrier get out in front of him too far so that he's there to make the play in case he cuts back and makes the play at the 5-yard line.
2 tight ends in the game for Michigan. Jokic, the lone wideout. Rogers, touchdown. Minute and 13 to play, 2nd quarter, and Michigan is a point away from tying this one up. I'll tell you, Chris Zurbrugg came into this ball game as the 2nd quarterback in terms of publicity between he and Robbie Bosco. But Zurbrugg has played Bosco to a standstill, and right now seems to have a little bit of an edge the way he's directed the Michigan offense.
Well, he's 4 for 7 in passing, and all 4 of those passes out of the 4 were for first downs.
The extra point is good, and we have a tie ball game. With a minute and 13 to play, 2nd quarter.
You know, Howard, the big problem now is with Robbie Bosco. He's got a slight knee injury. He also has a sprained ankle. That drive took an awful lot of time. He had to sit down there for the better part of a half. All right, here we go. We're going to see the replay of the touchdown. Just excellent blocking to the inside. Hammerstein, number 78, gets a great block pulling out. Here's Rogers in the end zone, but they went right up the gut. Here it comes again. Hammerstein, number 78. You're going to see him pull out, and he's going to get a trap block on Marvell, number 49. There's the hole in the middle. Whittingham was there, 53, does not make the tackle. Rogers, touchdoam.
Whittingham and Morrow knocked into each other as Rogers got between them. Here it is.
Well, you can see Hammerstein now. He's right in the front. He makes the good block, and there's a lot of holding, but that's okay, as long as that 7 points still on the board.
So the Wolverines came into this ball game 1 touchdown underdog. And as Paul McGuire alluded to, a drive of substantial length, 4 minutes, 36 seconds. Rogers a 5-yard touchdown run. He now has 50 yards on the ground and 14 carries. And his running mate, Bob Perryman, has 7 carries for 51 yards.
That's balance.
It certainly is. Sikahema and Parker are back for Brigham Young to await the kick. Slopey will kick off. This is Parker. Excellent downfield coverage by Michigan. Anytime you can keep the return team inside the 20, you've more than done your job. So they'll set it up. BYU will at their own 17-yard line. Now, it's a minute and 8 to play in the 2nd quarter. 7-7. Your offense is really not in sync right now. Perhaps a little distracted because of Bosco's injury, although he's still in the ball game limping. Do you kind of forget about trying to put any points on the board and be happy with 7-7, or you go for it?
Go.
Now, if you're a Lavelle Edwards, what do you do?
Go. Well, there you go. You've got the best passer in the nation. Go ahead and throw. Wow, one of the best passers in the nation. Let me clarify that.
I think Doug Flutie might take pass with you. Bosco. Oh, what a reception in traffic. By number 12, David Mills. Garland Rivers defending on the play, but got to tip your hat to David Mills. He took a shot as soon as he made the reception and held on to the ball.
And bounces right back up. They're going to go with the speed off offense. I think we remember now. If you don't realize that the clock stops to move the chains in college football, I think you should by this time of the year.
BYU has but 1 timeout remaining. Trying to swing it out of the backfield to Heimuli, but he really didn't turn around. The pass was thrown a lot sooner than Bosco wanted to. Got tremendous pressure from Kevin Brooks.
Kevin Brooks, the pressure is fine, but Rodney Lyles, number 80, covering Heimuli coming out of the backfield. It's just a dump-off pattern, or a dump-off pass.
Robbie Bosco knows he can stop the clock. It's still only going to be 2nd down and 10. You don't take the sack. You don't throw the interception. You don't throw the ball in the middle in the giveaway. Not in this part of the field. Bosco did the smart thing.
Clock stops with 51 seconds remaining. 2nd quarter. 2nd and 10. BYU. Bosco will operate out of the shotgun.
Go in the middle of the field.
Michigan showing blitz. Oh, what a grab. What a grab at the 50-yard line by number 1, Adam Haysbert. The senior from San Mateo, California. BYU is going without a huddle.
Well, they don't have to because the clock stops. But watch this throw by Bosco. Up and away. Haysbert just goes after the ball. He goes up, times it perfectly, comes down only 1 foot in bounds. That's all you have to do in college. Haysbert's there. 1st down at the 50. What did you say? You thought they were going to sit on it?
I guess not.
No, they don't.
That's why we have you here.
They don't know how to sit on it.
1st and 10, BYU at the 50. What time Bosco has to throw. Kozlowski is open for a moment and a great defensive play, but there's going to be a marker on the play. Looked to be an outstanding play by Garland Rivers, number 13. Now, if it were a year ago, Paul, it'd be a spot foul. Now it'll be from the line of scrimmage where they'll mark it off.
15 yards. But now, here's the thing. Is he throwing the ball to Mills, or is he throwing the ball to Kozlowski? You're going to see 82 in the picture, along with number 7, who is Kozlowski. Take a look at it. Rivers is going to make the play. You see it right there. There's Mills in the front, 82. He goes up. Kozlowski's behind. Rivers makes the play at the ball, goes through Kozlowski. It's a 15-yard penalty is what it is, and I like this penalty. Here it is. You see 12 Mills. He's going for the ball, but we don't really know who Bosco's throwing the ball to. This happened in the game against Air Force. They were throwing the ball, I think, to Kozlowski. Mills catches it and runs for a touchdown.
So the line of scrimmage is the 35-yard line of Michigan. With 38 seconds to play, BYU has 1 timeout remaining, but Lee Johnson, their field goal kicker, will listen to the words of Wendell Shelton.
Defensive pass interference. Automatic 1st down.
I like the call. I like this pass interference where it's only a 15-yard penalty.
So do I agree. Bosco going out of the shotgun. 1st and 10 play.
Oh, they're moving.
And a little bit too much movement. I don't know if Michigan was offside or they were drawn off. I think it's going to be the penalty is going to go against BYU. BYU's probably had more penalties in the first half than they've had all season in a half.
The offensive linemen are just pulling out too soon.
Procedure call against BYU.
It's rubbing a 9, number 57, and he started backing up from the line of scrimmage.
BYU has been impressive offensively 8 of the last 10 years. Of course, they've had some great quarterbacks.
False start. Offense. 1st down.
At the top of the show, we looked at the great quarterbacks at BYU. Gifford Nielsen, Jim McMahon, Mark Wilson, Steve Young. And who could forget what Steve Young did a year ago, catching the touchdown pass that won the game. Bosco guns it into number 12, David Mills. Now you know why David Mills averages 17 yards per reception as a tight end, although he's not really the prototype tight end at 6'2", 211.
But did you see where he threw the ball to Mills? Not only he hits him on the money, but he hits him, and there were 3 Michigan defenders in that area. They're covering the tight end. That means that one of these wide receivers, and they're using 3 of them, are going to be open. Haysbert's in there, Bellini's in there, and Kozlowski's in there.
Bosco 13 of 17 for 187 yards. Salanoa's in the game to give some support blocking-wise for Bosco. At the 14-yard line, Mark Bellini.
They got to take their timeout. They should take it because he can still throw to the end zone. They're going to waste about 12 seconds if they don't take the timeout now.
15, 14, and counting.
Should have taken that timeout. He can always throw the ball away for the field goal.
10 seconds remaining until the half, and Bosco stops the clock with 7 seconds remaining. Mills now with 8 receptions, 73 yards.
Howard, they wasted over 20 seconds in the call trying to get the people to the line of scrimmage. If you just go ahead and call your timeout, he still has about 3 or 4 plays that he could throw to the end zone. If the man is not open, throw it away. And don't waste it. They don't even use the timeout they had because they're bringing the field goal kicker on.
Lee Johnson is 13 of 17, kicking field goals this year. This from 31 yards away. Plenty of distance, and it splits the uprights. So BYU reclaims the lead, 10-7 with 4 seconds to go in the second quarter. And I come back to a minute and 4 seconds ago, and I said, do you sit on a 7-7 lead or you go for it? I guess I got my answer.
Go. Just go. I mean, there's just no question about it. This team can score. They average over 30 points per game, 500, close to 500 yards in offense. But when you got down here, I'm gonna say it again. You know, you got a 27 seconds on the clock. Take your one timeout. It really doesn't make any difference now. Then with Bosco there and all the receivers that they have, you can go for the stripe to the sidelines to the out of bounds. It's going to stop the clock and get 4 or 5 plays in 27 seconds.
Yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, maybe it was the day before, there was a press conference that was held in New York. It kind of sheds a little bit of light onto this controversy about BYU being #1 or not. Richie Phillips, who's the legal counsel for the Major League Baseball Umpires Union, now the executive director of a committee that's trying to put together a national championship game, I believe just prior to the Super Bowl, which would pit maybe a BYU against an Oklahoma or a Washington or whomever. How do you feel about that?
I like to see just the #1 and 2 teams in the nation, as they finish up at the end of the year, go to a separate bowl, period. Forget about anything else that they do, Howard, and let them fight it out. The other ones that are in the rankings doesn't make any difference whether you're 3rd, 4th, or 5th.
They try the onside kick to prevent a long run back, obviously, and that will be the last play of the first half. It has not been filled with a lot of scoring. However, there is no shortage of drama in the first half of the 7th Holiday Bowl. Howard David with Paul McGuire, Mike Smith, and Greg Wyatt. We're privy to be here, and we're glad you're with us. From coast to coast, it is 10-7 BYU at halftime.
Field goal to go on top, 10-7. Holiday Bowl number 7, and this one typical of most Holiday Bowls, Rock'em Sock'em football, and you can be sure it'll go right down to the end. We're at halftime, and let's enjoy some of the pageantry here from San Diego Jack Murphy Stadium.
The students and faculty take great pride in the accomplishments of their school. BYU's success in football has been highlighted recently across the nation, but the university is also known for its leading scientific researchers. For example, there's the pioneering studies by zoologist Dr. Gary Booth, whose expertise is in detecting toxins in the environment. His research is among the first to look at pollutants settling in river bottoms. Dr. Roland Robbins, director of the university's Cancer Research Center, who's created a drug that, when approved, will be the first to fight most viruses. Dr. David Magleby, a political science professor, is frequently quoted as an expert on the voting process and voting referendums. And Dr. Jeff Germain, whose research includes studies in replacing heating oil with coal water mixtures to improving the efficiency of a gasoline internal combustion engine. Obviously, BYU is not only successful on the football field, but also in the classroom and the lab. Striving for excellence in the 80s at Brigham Young University.
The University of Michigan, teaching 46,000 students on 3 campuses while serving the citizens of Michigan. Years of helping Michigan businesses get started and keep going have prepared UM scholars, led by the UM Institute of Science and Technology's Industrial Development Division, to respond to Michigan's current efforts to strengthen its economic base. UM researchers and consultants seek to stabilize the dominant auto industry, while other UM people help to expand and diversify Michigan's economy and look at ways that a tax structure can serve people without discouraging individual effort. The presence of UM researchers has attracted high technology firms to Michigan. UM scholars have assisted Michigan communities in developing research and industrial facilities, new employment, and new tax revenues. The University of Michigan, drawing new industry and jobs to Michigan.
The National Association of Collegiate Directors of Athletics is an organization serving more than 2,000 members of the collegiate athletic community. Because its members share common problems and opportunities, NACDA conducts management seminars which focus on contemporary and long-range strategies. state-of-the-art business technology is keeping collegiate athletic departments in step with the times through NACTA.
We're at halftime here in San Diego, Holiday Bowl 7, with BYU leading Michigan by a score of 10-7. It's been a game of some intrigue so far. Robbie Bosco injuring his knee, but he's back in there. We're going to be back with more from San Diego, but right now we go to the Mislu Sports Bureau.
Thank you very much, Mike Smith. One score to tell you about in the National Hockey League, a final at this point. This evening, the Islanders over Hartford, shutting out the Whalers by a 1-0 score. As you say, we are at halftime of the Holiday Bowl. BYU leading Michigan 10-7, and we'll return after these messages from your local stations.
It's our pleasure to have with us right now at halftime the star of last year's Holiday Bowl, Steve Young, the former quarterback from BYU. If you could, give us some idea of what maybe Robbie Bosco is going through right now, the knee injury and the ankle injury, but he's back in there.
Well, I'd say I was really surprised to see him come back into the ballgame. I'm sure he's hurting, but I'm sure they've given him something to take a little bit of the pain away. I think the most significant thing is in the last drive, being able to get under the center and be able to drop back, puts BYU back in its game plan. And the shotgun, BYU doesn't practice that very often, and I think that would be really a devastating blow for the offense to have Robbie sit back in the shotgun.
All right, when he's in there, he's got the adrenaline pumping. Sitting in there at halftime now, he's cooled off a little bit. Will that have any effect coming out in the third quarter?
The knee definitely might swell up and it might get stiff, but I'm sure they're just in there rubbing it, making him keep moving it and stay. I think he's about 90% right now. I think he's able to move around. You saw a few cuts. He's able to go one way, then the other, drop back. I think he's pretty well back to normal, other than when he starts thinking about that, I'm sure he's limping again. But I think he's back at almost 100% when he gets under the center.
All right. Steve Young, thank you very much, and best of luck with the Los Angeles Express. If we can bring Jim Kuhn in right now, the president of the Holiday Bowl. Jim, come on in. Thank you again, Steve. The Holiday Bowl people are a very hard-working group. They spend week in, week out. They work all during the year to kind of put this thing together. And, Jim, you've got to be pleased with the success of this one. It's a sellout and the biggest crowd ever.
Not only pleased, I'm excited, Mike. It's the biggest crowd we've ever had to watch a football game in San Diego.
All right, where does this game go from here?
Well, immediately in January, we are going to start plans to develop the contacts that will hopefully bring in some large corporate sponsors. We've had some significant contributions, but we need some larger contributions that will put us into the payoff play where we can attract bigger teams, and we don't need to worry quite as much about the TV payoff.
All right, Jim, thanks again for a job well done. I know the entire nation is sitting in enjoying this one. It's a great ball game so far. All the guests tonight will receive a beautiful limited edition watch from Sharp International, the official timepiece of the Mislu Television Network. We'll be back with more.
Shotgun Rapids, Idaho, and old Milwaukee folks mean something great to these guys. The shotgun means white water at its best. And old Milwaukee means a great beer. Cold, crisp, old Milwaukee beer. And smooth, golden, old Milwaukee Light. And old Milwaukee. And old Milwaukee Light.
Taste as great as their name. You know, guys, it doesn't get any better than this.
My dandruff shampoo is good.
Maybe you should try something else. My dandruff shampoo really works.
Maybe you should try something else, like Selsun Blue. Doctors and pharmacists recommend Selsun Blue more than all other leading brands combined. It's #1. What that means to you is no leading brand gets rid of dandruff better than Selsun Blue. Ask your doctor or pharmacist, or try it yourself. That's all the proof you'll need. Selsun Blue. It's #1.
Any luxury hotel can give you a bed surrounded by 4 walls, but Guest Quarters doesn't draw the line there. Guest Quarters surrounds all its bedrooms with a living room, dining area, and kitchen. You get real comfort and space at Guest Quarters for about the price you'd pay for a single room at other luxury hotels. You don't live in one room at home. Why live in one room away from home? Guest Quarters.
Holiday Bowl is being brought to you by the U.S. Armed Forces. It's a great place to start. By AT&T,
The more you hear, the better we sound. By Mr. Goodwrench and General Motors Parts. And by the makers of Double Strength Mylanta 2, the antacid with nearly twice the acid neutralizing power of any leading brand.
Hi, I'm Bob Beasley, Vice President of Marketing for Norelco. We're delighted to present the award for the most valuable player here at the Holiday Bowl. The two teams in tonight's game have worked hard and earned their way to a postseason ball game. On behalf of everyone at Norelco, we'd like to wish you and yours the happiest of holiday seasons and best wishes for 1985.
You are looking live on Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego, California, as we begin the third quarter. For Salanoa on the return for Brigham Young University, who lead 10-7 as we begin the third period. Howard David along with Paul McGuire at Jack Murphy Stadium. Here's the statistics of the first half. Now keep in mind, Robbie Bosco was injured for a piece of that half, although BYU as a team still completing 19 of 27 passes for 190 yards. Bosco alone was 14 of 19 for 162, Paul.
Not taking anything away from Michigan, playing good defense, good offense, but the turnovers, number one for Brigham Young, and the other one, they're making mistakes by penalties where they better keep their mouths shut and play the game.
The draw to Heimuli. And about 7 yards on first down. To underscore what Paul McGuire said, Brigham Young hit with 5 penalties for 42 yards in the first half. Michigan had 2 for 20. Time of possession was just about equal, 15:09. Michigan 14:51 for Brigham Young. But it's been Michigan's defense that has kept them in the ball game, as we thought about in the beginning of the show.
Michigan's playing very, very good defense. And the one thing, well, I'll get to that as soon as this play is over.
Robbie Bosco, and there you see his stats of the first half. He's had 8 300-yard games this year. 1 setback. Blitz is on. Bosco still on his feet and manages to get rid of it. And a first down. David Mills, who had a very fine first half, had 7 receptions for 59 yards in the first half. Kevin Brooks in on the tackle for Michigan, but not before BYU registers a first down.
Steve Young was here at halftime, and I had a chance to talk to him in the hallway, Howard, on the way out. And he just looked at me and he said, Robbie Bosco, we're going from the shotgun. We are not a great football team from the shotgun.
Well, here's Robbie going from the shotgun now on 1st and 10 from the BYU 43-yard line. 10-7, Brigham Young in front. It's intercepted by Michigan at the 50-yard line. Mike Mallory off a tip ball intended for Heimuli. The second interception against Robbie Bosco.
Credit the defense. Now, the ball went right off the hands of Heimuli. He reached out with one hand. You're going to see it. Robbie Bosco's just trying to lay it out. There is touch on this ball. It's not that hard. The ball's coming over Heimuli's. But Mallory, look at his concentration. His eyes, gets his hands underneath the ball so the ball doesn't hit the ground first. Interception, Michigan ball at the 49.
That's why defensive coaches have tip drills.
That's exactly right.
Michigan ball at their own 49-yard line. Govea in on the stop on Bob Perryman. Perryman with a good first half, rushing the ball 50 yards in just 7 carries. A little mathematics will tell you that's 7 yards per rush. That is good in any man's league.
I would say so.
I was hoping you would underscore that. 2nd and 7, Michigan. 48-yard line, Brigham Young. Perryman and Rogers with setbacks. They have gone most of the way for Michigan. This is Rogers trying to turn the outside. And he is met headlong by number 25, Jeff Sprowls.
You know, he's playing a great game for BYU on defense. Of course, the linebackers on both these teams are playing well, but Leon White, that time, number 41, is the man that makes the play. Sprowls was also there, but Leon White fights off the blocker, gets to the outside.
Very quickly, you got to look at a graphic which showed Michigan intercepting 6 of Bernie Kosar's passes. Very fine quarterback for the Miami Hurricanes. 3rd down and 5, Michigan at the 46 of BYU. Brady set up the screen, and Zerbrook is going to be sacked, and he gets away. But he still goes down back at the 35-yard line. Leon White and Jim Herman chased him. There's Leon White, number 41, the junior from right here in San Diego. A loss in the play back to the 35-yard line, a 19-yard loss.
Zerbrook is going to throw a screen. Now, you've got to watch the offensive line. They'll tell you. You see him sliding to the outside, just a slight touch, and the linemen are going back because he knows he can't get the ball off. And there's Leon White again, number 41.
There's Robbins' punt. It's short. Fair catch called for by Sikahema. Takes a BYU bounce. And the Cougars are going to get in an excellent field position at their own 37-yard line with 11:40 to play. Third quarter. Brigham Young in front by the score of 10-7. Will return at Jack Murphy Stadium in Holiday Bowl 7 after these words.
Welcome back to the Mizzlou Sports Bureau. This sports update is brought to you by Coors Beer. In the National Hockey League tonight, Pittsburgh beats the Flyers 4-2 in the third period. Chicago leading Toronto 4-3, and Vancouver surprising Edmonton 2-0 in the second. Now this from Coors.
When night comes out to play.
Turn it loose with a silver bullet. Find it, catch it, grab it, pull it. It's the right light one when you hit the town. Coors Light will never, never, never slow you down. Light, party right. Turn it loose with the silver bullet tonight.
Coors Light beer.
Oh, my arm.
Rub something on it.
I got Ben Gay. I don't want to go back to work smelling like Ben Gay.
Don't.
Try Sports Cream. It smells nice and clean. Does it work? Sports Cream has a strong, clinically tested pain reliever. It starts to penetrate immediately to relieve sore muscle pain.
No workout today?
Sure. I feel great. Why?
You, usually smell like Ben Gay.
Not anymore.
Sports Cream, the fast-acting pain reliever that smells great.
Period. Two good coaches here at the Holiday Bowl, two more at the Bluebonnet Bowl. Don Nalen at West Virginia, Jim Wacker at TCU. He has been a great story this year.
It's true. He turned that program around at TCU.
Yes, he has. First bowl in 25 years. They'll go to the Bluebonnet. Bosco chased out of the pocket and does the smart thing. Let me ask you something, Paul. Now, in the first half, we know about Bosco's ankle sprain, his knee problems. It's getting a little colder now. Temperature's dropping below 50 degrees. Any tendency or any fear of that thing tightening up?
Well, I would think that he got a chance to warm it up and move around in the locker room. He probably did not sit down at all. Here's Robbie Bosco. Now, everybody's covered downfield. He does a smart thing. Mallory's going to come in and hit him. The crowd booed a little bit here, wanting a penalty. But he's just making sure he's down. Just let him know you're around.
Gain of 4 on the play. Second down and 6. BYU at their own 42-yard line. Little bit of contact. Little bit.
Since number 53 jumped the line, you think you're after Bosco when he gets underneath the center?
In your opinion, objective opinion, and I know it will be objective, what is Bosco's chances to be a pro? I mean, how good a pro can he be?
I think he can be very good. He's got the height, and he's got the arm to throw the ball. He's a smart quarterback. One thing about Brigham Young, when you look, and it takes a smart quarterback to do this, you have to read the defense. The receivers also, they adjust on the defenses. If they're playing zone and they're supposed to run a pattern, say 18 yards, and all of a sudden the zone is there, they're going to be in that zone. They'll
ball, encroachment, defense. Second down.
They'll cut it off and adjust to a 13-yard pattern. That's got to be something that's worked out between the quarterback and the receivers. I think Bosco is an excellent prospect.
Second down and 1. BYU. Bosco again chased out of the pocket. Gets a late hit. The pass is ruled incomplete, but Bosco was hit on a late hit by number 52 for Michigan, Kevin Brooks. Tempers are getting a little bit out of hand. Lorke Haimuli, a fullback for Brigham Young.
Now, Bosco was in trouble. He's got a bad leg, okay? That's one. He was in trouble. The defense is in his face. He throws the ball to Heimuli to the outside. The ball is in Heimuli's hands. He might have been able to catch the ball, but the defense had no chance to get it. Can he play pro ball? Yes.
Let me ask you something else. BYU came into the game with all its national attention as to whether or not they deserve to be number one. They made some mistakes in the first half they have not made throughout the entire year. Are they playing in a game where they're afraid to lose?
Roughing the passer, defense, automatic first down.
I don't think so. I think Lavelle Edwards said it very well to us before, and he knows his players a lot better than the press or anyone else does. Right. And he said that this is it's another football game. Yes, it is for number one, but we're happy with our season. We would like to be there. You only get there once. They know how much pressure's on them, but I think they're handling it well now.
Draw play to Heimuli. His best run of the night. It gets it down to the 25-yard line. Lavelle Edwards said something earlier today that I thought was very appropriate, and we'll talk about it in a moment.
Watch Heimuli. Now, the Mallory brothers are going to end up making the play here, but the blocking in the offensive line is just sensational. Hammerstein, number 66, never gets to it. There's one Mallory, number 42, Mike, and number 8, Doug Mallory, in on the play.
Heimuli only gained 7 yards in the first half. That play, big enough for a first down, 15-yard pickup. He now has 27 yards in the ball game. First and 10, Brigham Young. Bosco under a rush, loses the ball. There's a marker on the play. His arm was grabbed as he went back. And the Michigan bench is livid. Scarcelli made the tackle on the play. Let's look at it.
All right, Bosco's coming out. Now, his arm is grabbed, and that's Scarcelli, number 85, pulls the ball away. There's a penalty in there, and is it against? I think it's against Brigham Young for holding in the offensive line. Michigan gets the ball. Yeah, it's declined.
Third turnover. Fourth turnover. Correction, fourth turnover. Against Brigham Young, Michigan has been error-free thus far in the game. It is 10-7 Brigham Young. It is Michigan's ball from their own 33-yard line with 10:09 to play third quarter. The top dog at Michigan, Glenn E. Bo Schembechler. 10th consecutive bowl appearance for the Wolverines. They have the ball first and 10 of their own 33. Rogers across the 40 to the 42-yard line. Steve Heyman, the strong safety, and Kerry Whittingham combining for the stop on Rick Rogers. Good gain on first down of 8 yards. It'll bring up 2nd and 2.
2nd and 2. It's a running play, but here's an excellent time for Michigan to put the ball in the air.
I'm wondering if you just tuned our way why Robbie Bosco is limping. He was injured in the first quarter, and yet he has done a bit of a gut check. He's still in the game. Perryman into the secondary. First down, Michigan in BYU territory at the 48. Kyle Morrell was there for BYU with help from Kurt Govey.
Just like I said, they run the ball to Perryman, the fullback. Look at the blocking in the line of scrimmage. It's excellent blocking. Velardis, the center, gets a great block. Here's Kyle Morrell come up and make the stop on Perryman. Perryman is strong.
Velardis is only a sophomore, 6'2", 215 pounds, from Chicago. First down, Michigan. Bean goes out of the game, the wide receiver. He is replaced by Triando Marcray. Out there with Jokic. First down and 10. BYU 48-yard line. Rogers nowhere to go and nowhere to hide. Drop for a loss inside Michigan territory by Kurt Govea.
They've had a bad toss in the second quarter. They have really gotten nothing out of this play right here, where it's a quarterback option. The fake to Perryman. Here comes Zerberg down the line, pitches to Rogers. No place to go. Look at the linebackers are all sitting there. Govea is sitting there making a play, and then 4 other guys come in to help out. You throw that play out in this game and just go with anything inside the tackles and throw the ball to the outside.
Jamie Morris in the game at tailback. Perryman now with 61 yards and 9 carries. The draw to Morris. Back into BYU territory at the 49-yard line, dropped by Brad Smith. Smith was injured a year ago in this very same Holiday Bowl. He will be playing in the Blue Gray All-Star game down in Montgomery, Alabama. Some place to keep your popcorn, isn't it? And there's not even a movie playing anywhere. 7:54 to play, third period. Third and 11, Michigan at the 49-yard line of Brigham Young. The Cougars lead at 10-7. Oh, what a grab. Jokic at the 35-yard line and a first down. Kyle Morrell and Mark Allen was there, but not before Paul Jokic. They're a big reception.
Howard, you can't say enough about the way this young man's been throwing the football. Watch this down the middle in the crowd, but he hit Jokic right on the numbers. There are 3 people there waiting on the ball. Allen's there, Morrell's there, and he makes the catch for the first down. That's an excellent pass.
Jokic will return to the Michigan basketball team once this season is complete. Morris straight ahead to the 31-yard line.
To the 31. Leon Williams.
I hope you were good this year, Mr. McGuire.
That's a real beard, you know.
What did you give your family a nice gift for Christmas, Paul?
Yeah, I let her get some good ones, too.
Yeah, there's a penalty marker on the play. I'd like to hear what you gave your family for Christmas. I'm sure the nation would love to know.
No, I'm not doing that.
Holding, offense, repeat, first down.
That's going to bring up a 1st and 19 for Michigan at the 44-yard line of BYU. Rogers and Markray come back into the game. Jokic goes out and Morris goes out. Did he make the reception in bounds? They say no. Vince Bean was the receiver, but he caught it out of bounds.
But again, Zerberg, you got to take a look at when he throws the football, where he put the ball. There were people there. Mark Allen, number 22, was there. The throw was to Bean, but look where the ball is thrown. The ball is thrown to the outside where the defensive man has really no chance of getting to the football. It's way to the outside. Bean almost keeps himself in bounds. That is close.
Thought he might have had his feet in. Looked like he was dragging him across. 2nd and 19, Michigan. Draw to Perryman. Breaks 2-3 tackles. Goes inside the 35. You gotta like the determination of this junior, Bob Perryman. He's played very well. Mark Allen was there on the stop. Of course, we'll be down at the Senior Bowl in Mobile, Alabama to see some of the best college football talent in America. That's the one time when all the coaches in the NFL, the scouts, everybody gets together and they tell war stories for 3 days.
Have you ever been to that? You've never been to that game.
No.
You're going to love it, my friend. I'm going to tell you. It's every single coach, scout, they're all there, and they have a great time.
But Bo's giving that chewing gum a workout. 3rd and 9. Zerbrug under a rush. Oh, he throws it to one of the linemen. Number 72, John Elliott. He said, no, wait a minute. I don't want it. Don't throw it to me, man.
Isn't that funny, though, John Elliott saying, wait, I'm not supposed to ever touch the ball unless you fumble the ball at my feet and I can pick it up. Elliott saying, I didn't want it. Don't want it. Don't throw it to me.
John Elliott, a sophomore, and he's big, 6'7", 280 pounds, and he did not want to be the primary receiver.
Watch Elliott. He'll drop his hands right away. The natural reaction from any athlete is to take a look at the ball and then try to catch it right away. Elliott puts his hands out and said, whoa, wait a minute. No, I'm not supposed to have that. Look,
ineligible receiver, and there's also a loss of down. And so it'll bring up a 4th down play, and BYU dodges a bit of a bullet.
I would have liked to see Elliott with the ball, though. 6'7", 280 pounds. That would have been interesting.
Zickahema is back to await the punt of Monty Robbins. And he gets away a beauty. They'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. 47-yard kick. Obviously no return. They'll bring it out to the 20-yard line with 5:55 to play 3rd quarter. 10-7 BYU. We'll be right back after these words from your local stations. Now that statistic, a little bit misleading if you look at it. 48 yards of total offense for BYU, but they only have 10 points on the board. Robbie Bosco operating out of a shotgun. If you just tuned our way, you'll notice he's limping a little bit. Heimuli to the 35-yard line. 15-yard pickup on first down. Tell you, the job that Matich is doing, the center, Paul, is just a thing of beauty. This third-team All-America has played a whale of a football game. The center for Brigham Young.
Matich is a man, now I believe that he makes the calls on the offensive line, and he'll tell the other people who to pick up, and if he reads blitz and different stunts, Matich has got his area to take care of. That's the center in the offensive line of Brigham Young. And if the man over him goes to the right, the guard will pick him up, and he's looking for a linebacker sneaking back to the inside.
Bosco back over center. First down play. He runs the draw to Heimuli. Across the 40. Amazing to me that a team that lived and died by the pass all year mostly lived by the pass, and they're running the football here in the third quarter.
Well, when Michigan's dropping off, it's going to happen. Here comes the action in the offensive line. That time, it's a draw play to Heimuli, and they're blocking back to the outside. You see Heimuli. Now watch when he runs with the football. As he feels he's going to get hit, he'll pull that ball in tight, put two hands on the ball. That's for your young people. When you know you're going to get hit, get your arms around it.
Heimuli 50 yards and 10 carries, and Bosco comes up throwing. Almost getting away from the tackler was Kelly Smith, who has scored BYU's only touchdown tonight.
All right, we talked about Matich now, number 50. Now watch, here's the center, and this is his job. He centers the ball number 1 in the shotgun. Now he moves to the outside. He has the blocking assignment on Brooks. You get your arms out in front. That's legal now, as long as you keep your arms out in front. The grabbing of the jersey is not.
1 out of 2.
Everything's legal if you don't get caught.
First and 10 BYU at their own 49-yard line. Bosco looking to set up the outside play. Now he's got nobody to go to. He finds Salanoa at the 40. Look for the flags. There aren't any. He brings it down to the 35-yard line. For Salanoa, only a sophomore.
Salanoa look a little bit like Heimuli. I mean, they run the same. They look the same. They're about the same height. But Robbie Bosco that time back in trouble. Here he goes, and this is the end of the play where he goes out. You see Salanoa going downfield. Now watch what Salanoa does. The moves that he has. Mallory can't get him. Number 42 cuts back. He's going to be tackled, cover up the football. I like it.
The thing that I really like is watching Bosco scrambling on one leg.
He is kind of a step and drag type of deal.
First and 10 BYU at the 36 of Michigan. Just couldn't hold it. Pass is intended for Kozlowski. They've not thrown to Kozlowski a whole lot since the first quarter. Brad Cochran defending.
Kozlowski ought to learn to keep his mouth shut. I mean, the man that hit him, Cochran, did the right thing. The ball was there. Cochran hits him. Kozlowski gets up, mouthing off, and that cost them 1 penalty on the defense. Just go ahead and play the game. Win. Be number 1.
We have 3:48 to play. Third quarter. Bosco 17 of 24 for 191 yards. He's been intercepted twice. Second and 10, BYU, 36 of Michigan. The Wolverines showing blitz. Picked up well. Oh, what a grab. No good. But they're calling it an incompletion. Andy Moeller made the hit on Mills for BYU. From our vantage point, at least on the initial play, it looked like he made the reception, but let's look at it.
This man is tough. You watch what Mr. Mills does. David Mills, number 12. You can see the ball coming right in front of him. Does the ball hit the ground? No, it does not. Mills makes the catch. He gets hammered. He has a reason to complain. Here comes Mills. The ball does not hit. Watch his hands. Get underneath the ball. Right there. The ball never hits the ground. Breaks up. That's an excellent receiver. Hit by 2 people, still holds on.
Bosco scrambling on one leg. Still on his feet. Oh, look at what a shot. Pass is incomplete, but what a vicious shot. Defending on the play, Mike Hammerstein took a whale of a hit from Craig Garrett.
Now, I'll tell you this, and it's going to amaze me if I find out that Robbie Bosco has ligament damage, because you cannot make the cuts that Robbie Bosco is making with that leg if you have ligament damage. He made about 5 or 6 cuts on that knee, and if he did that, if there was ligament damage, the knee would have buckled, he'd have gone down.
Well, Lee Johnson is on the field. Mark Allen will hold. This will be a 53-yard attempt. Johnson has only tried 1 field goal this year from beyond 50. He's 0 for 1. And it's blocked. Eric Campbell. Eric Campbell still on his feet. Into BYU territory. Michigan defense, Michigan special teams, and they're still
People still holds on.
Bosco scrambling on one leg. Still on his feet. Oh, look at the what a shot. Pass is incomplete, but what a vicious shot. Defending on the play, Mike Hammerstein took a whale of a hit from Craig Garrett.
Now, I'll tell you this, and it's going to amaze me if I find out that Robbie Bosco has ligament damage, because you cannot make the cuts that Robbie Bosco...
.3:20 to play, third quarter. 10-7, BYU leading Michigan. We'll return right after these words.
It's very puffy. We didn't have time for an x-ray. I doubt whether there's a fracture, but he's playing a lot of pain, plus he has a fractured rib, I'm sure, on the left side.
Can he return?
Well, he says it's not to be a hero, but he says he can still move around, and he says it's his ball game to play. I don't think it's going to be any permanent damage, or we wouldn't let him play. But I think he's just playing with tremendous pain. I've got to hand it to him.
All right, thank you, Dr. Pratley. We go back upstairs now to Howard and Paul.
All right, Mike. Robbie Bosco playing in a lot of pain. You don't need anybody to tell you that. You can see it plain as day on television.
Well, if you have torn ligaments, what's that, a number 2 ankle sprain?
Well, whatever it is, a lot of pain.
Yeah, they're numbering him now, and a cracked rib. I guess he's in pain.
Second out and 6, Michigan with 2:43 to play, third quarter. Perryman into the secondary. Inside the 20-yard line. A 19-yard pickup for Bob Perryman.
Bob Perryman running well, and if you notice, Michigan is doing the damage to the inside between the tackles of Brigham Young. Perryman breaks back to the outside. Kyle Morrell is going to end up making the tackle downfield, but Perryman is a strong, strong football player. Great blocking by the offensive line. This Michigan team's ready.
Kyle Morrell almost called for a face mask, awfully close. First and 10, Wolverines at the 18 of BYU. Morris to the 15-yard line. Larry Hamilton, the left tackle for Brigham Young, in on the play, the senior from Oxnard, California. Perryman now with 11 carries unofficially for 98 yards. He's far away from the Holiday Bowl record set by one Craig James of 225 yards when he played for SMU. The left leg of Robbie Bosco. Call it grade 1, grade 2, whatever. This young man is playing in an awful lot of pain.
Well, another thing, you see him standing on the sidelines. He doesn't want to sit down and let that thing get stiff on him.
Second and 7. Michigan at the 15 of Brigham Young.
There's that toss again.
White turning the corner. There's a marker on the play as he takes it inside the 10-yard line. Gerald White. Tracked down by Kerry Whittingham, but there is a penalty marker on the play.
And a BYU man is down, Leon White, number 41. He has had a sensational game as defensive linebacker, and he's limping.
Illegal use of the hands is the indication by the referee, Wendell Shelton. Lavelle Edwards has got a reason not to have a smile on his face. His team is ahead 10-7. That's the good news for Lavelle Edwards. The bad news is Michigan's moving the ball on him very well, and Michigan is playing with less mistakes in the ball game.
I said it at the beginning, Howard, it's a great feeling to have a team coming in here. It's not a great feeling to be 6-5, but they are a 6-5 team, Michigan. To come in here and chance to knock the #1 team in the nation out of the box, and they're playing well. They are playing mistake-free offense and defense.
Now it's from the point of the infraction, and we'll hear it.
Illegal use of the hands, offense, repeat, second down.
All right, we're gonna see the toss out here to Jamie Morris. Is that Morris? No, that's White.
There it is in the right corner.
And there's the holding. Right on the right-hand corner, you see the illegal use of hands, and it's a 5-yard penalty, as you said, from the infraction.
So the line of scrimmage is now the 13-yard line. It's 2nd and 5, Michigan. With 1:10 to play, third quarter. White to the 10. It will bring up third down and about 1.5 yards. Carrier Whittingham was in on the play for Brigham Young. Next year, Brigham Young opens up, unless they play in the kickoff classic, they open up with UCLA and Washington at home. Then they go to the East Coast to play Temple in Philadelphia, and then all the way to Hawaii for their 4th game of the year. They're going to accrue some frequent flyer mileage very well, I think. There it is, third down, not quite 2 yards for a first down for Michigan at the 10-yard line. Zurbrugg, Perryman, touchdown. There's a marker on the play in the end zone. There is a touchdown by Michigan. The marker was thrown after Perryman was in the end zone.
Perryman comes out of the backfield, and no one stayed with him. He's to the right of the screen, and the quarterback you've got to give him an awful lot of credit, because Chris Zurbrugg, when he came into this game, everybody talked about Brigham Young's passing and Robbie Bosco. Not
completions have been for either a first down or that one touchdown.
And you've got to give him an awful lot of credit, because Chris Zurbrugg, when he came into this game, everybody talked about Brigham Young's passing and Robbie Bosco. Not too much emphasis on Chris, and all of a sudden he has done a sensational job in this game, and the offensive line blocking, but his heads-up play, putting the ball where it has to be put for the receptions for first downs and or a touchdown. Good job.
There's the kickoff to BYU. Sikahema fumbles the ball and is taken down inside the 5.
Here comes Zurbrugg. Now watch what he does when he rolls out to the right. Perryman's coming out number 37. You just saw it in the picture for a second. Gerald White gets a good block in the line, but Zurbrugg sees the rush comes up. Perryman's all by himself. There will be a face mask right here, but that's touchdown anyway.
So BYU with the ball
mistake
at their own 4-yard line. The mistakes keep mounting up for the Cougars. 15 seconds to play, third quarter. Bosco out of the end zone. He's got Kelly Smith close to a first down at the 13-yard line. Chased out of bounds by Garland Rivers. Robbie Bosco, you see, he's wearing that flak jacket underneath his jersey. He's protecting some very sore ribs. BYU with 4 turnovers tonight, plus a field goal that was blocked that set up the last Michigan drive.
Michigan's playing heads-up football, and at this point, they've got BYU confused. This play, you know, you don't have to worry about going downfield. That time with Kelly Smith, he caught 5 balls in the first half for 26 yards. Short gains. Oh, my, go ahead.
There's a fumble. Michigan is recovered just outside the 10-yard line. Kevin Brooks comes up with a loose ball. That is the 5th turnover against Brigham Young. This all coming with 6 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. I hate the word momentum, Paul, but that's what Michigan is riding right now, and they're making it happen.
Yeah, they are making it happen. Momentum is by players playing their position and doing it well. They scouted BYU so well, I think, and you have to credit the Michigan coaching staff. They've told these players what to do. Remember, coaches cannot play. They just coach, and they tell them what to do. The players have to execute, and the Michigan players, both offensively and defensively, are executing extremely well.
So Zurbrugg and company out on the field. They lead it 14-10. White inside the 10-yard line. That will be the last play of the 3rd quarter. Michigan in front by the score of 14-10 at the 7th Holiday Bowl. And the 4th quarter should be extremely interesting. We'll be right back to the Holiday Bowl right after these words.
Tonight's Holiday Bowl is being brought to you in part by your Toyota dealer and the luxurious all-new 1985 Cressida. Indulge yourself with the works. And by IBM. Whatever business you're in, an IBM business system can help you run it.
We begin the 4th quarter of the 7th Holiday Bowl. Michigan in front 14-10. They have the ball at the 8 of BYU. Zurbrugg falls down at the 15-yard line. Try to drop back to throw. Zurbrugg 6 of 11 for 77 yards and 1 touchdown pass. Total yardage thus far tonight. Brigham Young 337. Michigan 165. But Michigan leads in the only place that matters, and that is on the scoreboard. Interesting to know that BYU has scored in 1 of the 3 quarters thus far. They went 48 quarters this year and scored in 44 of 48 quarters throughout 1984 in 12 ball games. Credit the Michigan defense, Michigan special teams.
You bet.
3rd down play and 14. Zurbrugg hit just as he got rid of the ball by Kurt Govea. Eric Cadis, the intended receiver. The backup tight end, Leon White, also in on the play for Brigham Young. It will bring up a 4th and 14. And the field goal unit comes on.
They make this field goal. It's going to really bring up an interesting situation.
Bergeron will come on to try the field goal of 32 yards. Kick has got plenty of distance, and it splits the uprights. So it is now Michigan on top by 7 points. With 14-14 to play, 3rd quarter at the 7th Holiday Bowl. Stick around. It's going to get a little bit interesting as we go down to the wire. 17-10, Michigan in front. So now you come down to BYU's got a score as we look at what is coming up along the Ms. Luke Television Network. West Virginia, TCU, a New Year's Eve tradition. TCU, one of the big stories of 1984, their first bowl appearance in 25 years. Now you start addressing that #1 question all over again, Paul.
Well, BYU is down by 7. If they score a touchdown, I'd go for 2, for the simple reason that a tie is not going to keep you #1. You must beat this team in order to stay #1, even if they beat them by 1 point. And then worry about it later on, because if you tie, you're still going to have to score to beat them. So go for the 2 points. If you're down by 1, you still have the chance for the field goal and win the game by 2. You like that?
Meanwhile, Brigham Young's having problems scoring more than 1 touchdown.
That's right.
What's this? Sikahema and Parker looked at each other and watched the ball roll into the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. I'll tell you, you've got to get your signals together back there. There's a lot of indecision going on in the BYU ball club right now.
Okay, we started at the beginning of this game. We talked to Lavelle Edwards. We talked to some players on the team. We talked about, are they excited? Is the pressure there? So on and so forth. All the things that have happened to them. I don't make any excuses for BYU, but what they're doing now, they are not together as a football team. You think once the kickoff is made, you start hitting people, it goes back to a normal game. Obviously, that's not the case. They are down by 7 points. It's bothering them, but it's been bothering them through the entire game. And the thing that's been bothering them is Michigan, offensively and defensively. I'm not taking one thing away from this Michigan team. They have really put it to BYU.
First down, BYU at their own 20-yard line. Bosco on the quick release to Kelly Smith, short of the 30-yard line. Saving tackle by Tim Anderson. Kelly Smith has scored BYU's only touchdown tonight. Lavelle Edwards told us earlier today, he said, and I quote, "I feel like we have to defend everything we do." Right now, his ball club has got to say to themselves, we didn't get to number 1 by accident. Now we've got to hold on to it.
Exactly, and that play to Kelly Smith is open all the time.
People are watching this game and saying, look what a 6-5 team is doing to them. To the 40-yard line, Locke Heimuli. And a first down, Brigham Young. Brigham Young is having one of their best days rushing the football. They've gained over 100 yards on the ground.
You know what's interesting about that play? The one they fumbled down about the 8 or 9 yard line, they had it was about the 18-yard line, but they had a second down and short, and they ran the draw play to Heimuli, and he fumbles the football. Michigan gets it. Now they got 2nd and 2 again. The same play, exactly the same 2 plays. One to Smith, then back to Heimuli. They'll come back with it. That's their offense.
First and 10 play. Brigham Young. There's a marker down. Kelly Smith makes the reception.
Michigan was offside.
Did not get back in time. Kelly Smith makes the reception. Short of a first down near midfield. Kelly Smith was converted from defensive back to halfback.
Now they call BYU.
Ball is obviously going against the Cougars. They'll bring it back 5 yards to the 36-yard line.
You see a Michigan guy outside? I did.
Hear the call.
Illegal formation, offense, repeat, first down.
13-17 to play, 4th quarter at the 7th Holiday Bowl. Howard David along with Paul McGuire. Brigham Young trailing Michigan, 17-10. First and 15 play coming up for BYU at their own 36-yard line. And down to the 48-yard line goes David Mills. Jim Scarcelli was in on the play. They get back a fair amount of the yardage they lost, plus some more, and it will bring up a 2nd down.
David Mills, what an outstanding receiver. He's hitting everything. He's caught, I think, 9 balls now, David. Is that right? Has he got 9? Just an excellent receiver. He went out, made a move to the outside, Howard, and then broke back across the middle. The linebackers were trying to stay with him. Rodney Lyles, number 80, tried to stay with him, took the outside move. Back in comes Mills. Gets most of it back.
2nd down and 3. Bosco. Dropped back at the 44-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd down play. Now, last time Michigan scored on that field goal by Lee Johnson, what set it all up, or the field goal by Bergeron, what set it all up, before that will show this.
Here comes Robbie Bosco. Now, no one alive downfield that he can throw to in the rush of the Michigan defense. They bend a little bit, but they don't break. All right, here's the one you're talking about, Howard.
All right, now this is a blocked field goal recorded by Michigan that set up their last scoring opportunity of the field goal.
And I blame this on Lee Johnson more than anything else. I give the credit to Michigan for blocking. I'll get back to that in a second.
Adam Haysbert for a first down at the Michigan 35-yard line.
The reason I say Lee Johnson, Howard, is because he took too much time. He waited for that ball to be set down and the holder to get his hand out of the way. He waited too long. Of course, Michigan came right up the middle and blocked it.
Haysbert will appear in the Japan Bowl on the 12th of January with 32 receptions this year. Ivan Hicks defended on the last play. It's 1st and 10 now. Brigham Young at the Michigan 35-yard line. We have 11:35 to play in the fourth quarter. Michigan leading Brigham Young 17-10. Bosco to Bellini at the 16-yard line. Garland Rivers, the strong corner defending, but Mark Bellini, the sophomore from San Leandro, California, who walked on as a freshman, makes the reception of 19 yards. Crowd of 61,248 here at Jack Murphy Stadium. That is a stadium record.
You know, when you watch Robbie Bosco and BYU, remember before the half there was, what, a little over a minute, and they marched the length of the field, and they ended up with a field goal. It seems like they can do this every time. Their mistakes themselves have hurt them so much. 5 turnovers in this game, a blocked field goal.
Bosco throws it up short. David Mills inside the 10-yard line. Garland Rivers defending on the play. Crowd of 61,243. That is a record attendance not only for the Holiday Bowl, but for Jack Murphy Stadium.
David Mills that time was not the primary target. The primary target was up on the top side, was either Kozlowski or Bellini, number 7 or number 11. But David Mills knows how to get back into the open. He knew he would be the third receiver that Bosco was going to throw the ball to. He went down towards the end zone and came back to about the 10-yard line. Mills has 10 receptions for 88 yards.
And Kozlowski has been conspicuous by his absence in receiving the ball tonight. He hasn't made many receptions. Bosco looking. Chased. It's a touchdown.
All you had to do is mention his name, Howard.
Glenn Kozlowski makes the reception in the back of the end zone. And now it is 2-point conversion time, and I got to believe that BYU's got to go for 2. They know that, although I see on the field Lee Johnson, the field goal kicker, is BYU thinking we kick the extra point.
All right, watch Robbie Bosco throw this ball. He doesn't fire it. He loops it up in the air. Kozlowski is going to get in the back of the end zone, and it's all jump ball from here on out. He goes up. Campbell, number 5, is back there with him. Kozlowski comes down with the football.
The extra point is good, and we have a tie game. All right, Brigham Young is thinking maybe with 10:51, there's a lot of time remaining. But if it ends this way, LaVelle Edwards is going to be criticized. 17-17 is your score. We'll return right after these words. Eight plays, 80 yards, in 3 minutes and 23 seconds. The 7-yard touchdown pass to Glenn Kozlowski. Jamie Morris, the deep man for the Wolverines of Michigan. First freshman in the history of Michigan to lead the Wolverines in rushing. And he's advised to touch it down there, so they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. All right, Paul. Now let's think about something. Bosco now 23 of 33 for 276 yards and 1 touchdown. And here's the touchdown pass.
He just loops the ball up in the air. He sees Kozlowski at the last second. He's not the primary target. This ball is lofted. Watch Kozlowski go up in the ball. Total concentration on the ball. Don't take your eyes off it. Looks the ball in, makes the reception in the end zone, touchdown. That's pretty.
Bosco did not go a game this year in 12 ball games without throwing a touchdown pass. It took him the fourth quarter to finally throw a touchdown pass here tonight. I'm going to ask you something. Hold on 1 second, and we'll do it right after this play. I'm going to put you on the dime a little bit. You know I'd never do that, but we'll try it one time.
I'll be here, Howard.
All right. Hang in there. Rogers dropped by number 41, Leon White, for a loss back to the 15-yard line. This game ends in a 17-17 tie. Now, you're on the AP voting panel. Do you vote BYU number 1?
No.
Okay. Why?
Because I don't think it is. They have to win this game, even if it's by 1 point, in order for me to vote them number 1. And they will be number 1 if they win it.
Would you have gone for a 2-point conversion with 10:51 to go?
No question about it in my mind. I'd like to be up now, even if you're down by 1. The tie is not going to do them any good. And you always have that opportunity to get the field goal. They have a good field goal kicker.
Rogers, 19 carries for 60 yards. It's a 2nd and 11 play, Michigan. Zerbrug, who's played well. throws it too far, intended for Eric Caddis. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 11 play for Michigan. Admittedly, not a very good throwing team, but now they're forced in what would appear to be a passing situation.
Admittedly, not a very good throwing team, but Chris Zurbrugg has thrown the ball extremely well in that. He's put the ball where it had to be. Now, that time, he threw the ball to Caddis to the outside. It was a little bit too far. There was a defender there. Heyman was there. But he threw the ball where Heyman could not get to the ball, and there still is a possibility for Caddis to get to the ball.
Bo Schembechler, who coached under Woody Hayes, he's coached under Ara Parsegian, and he's established his own marks at Michigan. 9:59 to play in the ball game. Zurbrugg on 3rd down, chased out of the pocket and sacked inside the 10-yard line. There's a penalty marker on the play. The sack is recorded by Brad Smith, the nose guard. The marker occurred it's a holding call against Michigan. Obviously, BYU will refuse the penalty. 3rd sack by the Cougars tonight.
They went after Govia's number 1, the first man, number 34, goes there. Zurbrug's back down to throw. Watch Govia be the first guy, number 34. He forces him out of the pocket. Now, Brad Smith is going to end up making the tackle. Larry Hamilton, 79, is also there.
BYU obviously refuses the penalty. That sets up a punting situation. Monty Robbins will be kicking from his goal line.
And here's where you really don't rush the kicker.
Last time, earlier in the game, he punted, or tried to punt, and could not get away the kick. And BYU could not convert that into points. Big booming kick. That drives Sikahema back. He's trying to turn the corner. Gets a block, but there's going to be a marker on the play against Brigham Young. That clipping call right on the money.
You have Sherman, number 4, clipping Cochran, number 30. Up until that time, Robbins had 5 punts for 37 yards, and when you need a punt, this is what I call a good kicker. When you can get back in your own end zone, you got a tie ball game, you need the pressure's on you, and hang a ball up like that, that's beautiful.
50-yard punt by Monty Robbins. That gets Michigan out of trouble. And the onus is now on BYU to deliver with 9.5 minutes to play on the 4th quarter. It is a 17-17 ball game. Oh, does this hurt Brigham Young? They'll bring it back to around the 21-yard line, and we'll hear the description from Wendell Shelton.
On the run back, 1st down.
Now that becomes a 75-yard punt.
17-17 is your score with 9:30 to play. 4th quarter at the 7th Holiday Bowl. We'll be right back after these words. Goodyear Blimp Columbia, based in Carson, California, and the pilot, Nick Nicolari. Our cameraman, Don Pearsall. Now, here's the top 20. Brigham Young, as you can see, number 1 in the nation. For the moment. Across the 25-yard line is Wake Hemuli. Dropped by Mike Mallory. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 5 for Brigham Young.
If they don't win, do you know who I vote for? You care?
Certainly, I care about everything you say.
Florida.
But the folks at the NCAA are going to love to hear that.
I'm sorry.
Gain of 5 on the play. 2nd down and 5. Brigham Young, their own 26-yard line. Kozlowski in motion. Oh, what a grab by David Mills. Oh, man. What a reception across the 40. Tim Anderson defending on the play, but the ball was thrown right on the money and a 1st down.
You talk about how good Robbie Bosco is, and he throws for over 300 yards a game, but here's the reason why. Watch David Mills. He catches the ball. He knows he's going to get hit by Rivers in the back, holds on to the football, and tries to break away to run with it. This is an excellent receiver. He's got, what, 11 now?
1st and 10. Brigham Young at their own 41-yard line. Only a 3-man rush. Bosco over the middle. Kozlowski lost the ball, and it's intercepted off the tip by Jim Scarselli. Kozlowski had it, could not hold on to it, and Scarselli comes up with it.
That's 2 interceptions. There's 3 altogether for Robbie Bosco this evening.
Two of them come on tip balls. One in Himuli's hands and one now in Kozlowski's hand.
Scarselli is hurt on the play.
Yeah, but take a look at this. This ball is fired. Here comes Kozlowski. He's across the middle. That time, really not concentrating on the ball, thinking about running, or whether he was surprised, I don't think so. But Scarselli picks it off. He gets hit. This probably had the wind knocked out of him. Here it is again. Now watch Robbie fire this ball in. Now it's a little bit behind. No, it isn't. It hits him right on the hand. Scarselli's there. I think Kozlowski was looking at the defender more so than he was the football.
We have 8:23 to play. Fourth quarter, 17-17 is your score from the 7th Holiday Bowl. We'll be right back after these words from your local station.
West for just a...
All right, Paul McGuire, you said Florida would be #1 if this game ended in a tie. I'd like you to think about the reason for that answer.
No question. In my mind, they're the second best team in the nation.
6 turnovers thus far against Brigham Young. Perryman is having his best day. He is over 100 yards. Prior to tonight, his best effort was 77 yards rushing against Miami. And right now, I like him as the offensive player of the game.
I kind of agree with you, even though Robbie Bosco's throwing the ball well and almost 300 yards. But, you know, we talked to Lavelle Edwards today, and the one thing he talked to us about, and we said at the beginning and before, is his defense. Now we're going to find out. This is when you're going to find out how good your defense really is. 7:52 and counting in the fourth quarter. Score is tied. Michigan's getting into field goal area.
2nd down and 3 at the 38-yard line of Brigham Young. Perryman again. Across the 35-yard line.
First down.
First down, Michigan. And let's go to Greg Wyatt.
Few games of some pretty good defense for the Michigan Wolverines, and you have got to be pleased with the way your team is playing against #1 tonight. 3 interceptions, and of course you forced 6 turnovers.
Yeah, I'm extremely pleased. I think the key to winning a big game is our defense. Our defense has come up with the big plays tonight in order for us to stay in the ball game.
Well, you did it against #1 Miami. Can you do it again?
Yes, I think we can get them.
Let's go back up to the booth.
Penalty markers fly as Gerald White carries the ball. Perryman unofficially 13 carries, 110 yards. Marv Allen was there on the play for Brigham Young, but there is a marker. Locking below the waist is the call by the referee. Don't forget the New Year's Eve tradition from the Houston Astrodome, the Bluebonnet Bowl. We'll have it for you, West Virginia and Texas Christian University. Total yards thus far in the ball game, BYU 432 yards, Michigan only 153. Perryman has 110 rushing of those 153.
Yeah, but you know, you're talking about Michigan's defense, and we just talked to one of the defensive players in Michigan that played. BYU 432 yards. All right, here we go. Let's.
By the offense, first down.
But Howard, you take a look at Michigan's defense. When they had to hold, they did a great job. This score is tied 17-17. You know, BYU is average this year, 486 yards a game. They're on their way towards that, but I think Michigan has come up with the key plays on defense when they had to do it.
7 minutes remaining. In the fourth quarter, we are deadlocked at 17. Zerbrug on the fake and faked everybody out. Jamie Morris, the ball carrier, to about the 40-yard line.
You get the feeling Michigan smells the scent of victory.
Well, this year they are 2-2 against teams that emphasize the pass, and nobody emphasizes it more than Brigham Young. Jokic and Bean go out wide to the left side. 2nd down and 17, Michigan at the 40 of Brigham Young. Just a 3-man rush by the Cougars. Morris sheds 2 and 3 tacklers and gets dropped inside the 35-yard line. That is Perryman, my correction, Bob Perryman. Got to be one of the primary candidates for offensive player of the game, and maybe the game's most valuable player. Tim Anderson, who hasn't scored a point, he may be the hero for blocking the field goal try by Brigham Young.
Look at Zerberg. He sees no one downfield. He's going to dump it out to his fullback. Bosco did that with his fullback, so why not throw it out there? Here comes Perryman. Gets it back almost to the original line of scrimmage. It's, what, 3rd and 11.
They're getting within Bergeron's field goal range. Ball at the 34-yard line.
Look out.
That takes him out of field goal range across the 50. Leon White. And Kurt Govea. Govea was the man that made the sack.
Govea has it. If one thing that Zerberg has done wrong this evening, and this is either the 3rd or 4th time that he has been sacked deep. When you see the rush coming on, it's the 4th sack. When you see the rush coming on, take a look at it now. Here comes Chris Zerberg. He's going to get rushed by Govea. Dump the ball. Get rid of it so you're back to the line of scrimmage. At least you may have a field goal shot, or you may want to think about going on 4th down, but not from back there.
Robbins punt. There's a marker thrown. Fair catch is called for. And the ball will go, finally stopped at the 14, but there is a marker on the play. And we'll wait to get the official word.
It's
36-yard punt by Robbins. An illegal procedure against Michigan.
Make him punt again.
Well, BYU's not in great field position at the 14. You got to let him try to punt it again.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't want it at the 14. Not with 4:42 in the 4th quarter and tied 17-17. Make him kick it again.
In looking down Brigham Young's 1984 season, no game they've played this year has been decided by a field goal. Clock becomes a major factor in this game. 4:42 to play. Robbins averaging just under 40 yards per kick tonight.
Here's where you kick the ball and tell your team that he's a right-footed kicker. You're going to kick the ball to the left-hand side of the field, and everybody get over there.
So they'll punt it away again. Line of scrimmage now, the 45-yard line. Robbins gets away a beauty. Fair catch is called for. Well, they made a few yards on that. They'll now start it at the 17-yard line. Sikahema calls for the fair catch at the 17-yard line. We have 4:36 to play in the 4th quarter.
They said all year long when Robbie Bosco gets in a situation where he has to perform, he has done that. And here it is, 4:36 to go, 17-17 tie. They need a win to maintain number 1.
BYU had 5 penalties in the first half. They've only been hit with 3 more here in the second half. And so now the Cougars come to the line, the 17-yard line, with the whole season riding on this one drive. It would appear to be that way. Bosco in trouble, being chased from behind, and he gets away, miraculously so. I don't know if Bosco's going to receive the game's most valuable player or one of the best players or whatever, but I got to give him the most courageous player of the night.
I know they keep asking us who's the most valuable player, offensive, defense, and it's very difficult to say because everybody, the Michigan defense, the linebackers, they've been doing an excellent job. Govea from BYU on defense, also Leon White, and here comes Robbie Bosco, and they say strained knee ligaments, number 2 deal on the ankle, which is between 1 and 3, and also a cracked rib, and this is coming from their trainer, and this man is passed for over, well, I guess over 300 yards in this game. Run the ball very well. You can't overlook Robbie Bosco.
He scrambled 5 times tonight for 23 yards on a bad leg. Second down in the yard for Brigham Young. Mills in motion. First down. A Mooley for a first down. Clock stops as they move the chains with 4:14 to play in the 4th quarter. 17 all.
There's another man you look at, another fullback for offensive player. Mooley, he has done exceptional things with the football.
Andy Moeller ran on the play for Michigan.
I really am stumped about the offensive defensive player because there are so many.
Mooley has carried the ball 13 times for 81 yards. Kelly Smith trying to sweep. Not much. More importantly for Michigan, he did not get out of bounds, and the clock continues to move with 3:50 to go.
Well, they both have 3 timeouts each, so they're not in a problem this time. And I think one of the things that might have happened in that first half when they didn't take that one timeout that they had remaining with 27 seconds and let the clock run down, and then ended up kicking a field goal.
2nd down and 9, Brigham Young. 3-man rush. It is caught by Bellini. Garland Rivers made the defensive play, but there's a marker. Might be a face masking call against Michigan.
We've seen a lot of those.
Probably more face masking calls tonight than I've seen in one ball game in a while.
Michigan now, they're going with a 4-man rush. They're not blitzing the linebackers. You're right, face mask. They're not blitzing the linebackers. The linebackers are dropping to the outside. No one's getting deep middle. The safeties are dropping so far back because they don't want to give up the bomb. But take a look at Bellini coming across the middle. Now there's Rivers. And he's I guess he is the man with the face mask. But well, look how open Bellini is coming across the middle. There's no one deep enough to stop him. Now, 42 Mike Mallory was back, but not deep enough.
Defense, first down.
Here they come.
They're getting within Lee Johnson field goal range. Right now, if they were to stay, if everything remains status quo, it would be about a 47-yard field goal. That's within his range. But I'm sure that Bosco and company would like to get closer. The draw doesn't work. To Heimuli, Nate Rogers sniffed it out well. The clock continues to move with 2:55 to play. 2nd down for BYU, only now it is 2nd and 12. With the ball at the 32 of Michigan. BYU has all 3 timeouts remaining, Paul McGuire.
Well, you know, when you look at Robbie Bosco and you look, we talked about at the beginning how many great wide receivers he has, the guys that can catch the ball, run good patterns, and he mixes it up well. He not only looks at a primary target, he looks them all over.
Michigan's coming.
Bosco's leaving.
Bosco leads his man, Heimuli, to the 25-yard line. Rodney Lyles defending on the play, but a very smart move by Heimuli getting into the clear to pick up some yards.
Robbie Bosco is moving around on that leg, and the guts of this young man is just unbelievable. If he indeed has all the things they say he has. Strained ligaments. Here comes Bosco limping in.
He's not limping, he's skipping it.
Oh, yeah. Bad ankle, and also supposedly a cracked rib.
He's playing with a flak jacket underneath that jersey. Looking into the eyes of one of the most courageous young men I have seen. Bosco looking, throwing, and he's got Kelly Smith at the 20-yard line. That should be enough for a first down. With 1:39 to play. A typical Holiday Bowl. They have called this one of the most exciting bowl games year in and year out. This game is turning out to be as advertised. First down, Brigham Young at the 20-yard line.
All right, Robbie Bosco, here he goes again. Take a look at, we're going to watch him kind of slide back. He's not really picking that left leg up. They've got it heavily taped. But look, he looks around the field, sees Smith to the outside, trying to get out, and then just hopping on that one leg. Please don't anybody touch it. It's down. If you look at him when he puts his arm down there, Howard, he's going down towards his ankle. And I think his ankle is hurt worse than anything else.
All right, minute 39 to play. Stay with us. 17-17 your score. We'll be back in a moment. There is, with 1:39 to play, not only your most courageous player of the night, but your most valuable player of the night. Statistically, Robbie Bosco, 28 of 39 for 324 yards and 1 touchdown. And yes, he has been picked off a couple of times tonight, 3 times.
2 of them were tipped, remember that.
That's right. 1st and 10, Brigham Young at the 19-yard line as a blitz on. And the pass is caught by Adam Haysbert. He stops the clock as he gets it inside the 15-yard line.
Bosco can't put enough pressure on that leg to get up, so he looked for a little bit of help. He called over David Wright.
Minute and 35 in the fourth quarter. Clock is stopped. Let's go quickly to Mike Smith.
All right, we're on the field right now. Ron Bella of Norelco, and the award goes to who?
The award goes to Robbie Bosco, and on behalf of North American Phillips Corporation and all the people from Norelco, I'd like to award this trophy for the most valuable player to Robbie Bosco for a truly great performance. Congratulations to Robbie and all the teammates, and happy holiday season to all from Norelco. Thank you.
All right, back to the booth.
Kelly Smith could not hold on to it. That stops the clock with a minute and 30 to play. 3rd down and 4 coming up. When they huddle it up again, they're obviously within field goal range of Lee Johnson.
I don't know how much they're going to trust this 3rd down play to Hamuli, but I'll tell you that time they looked at Kelly Smith on this side to the left. And if you look to the right side, Hamuli, number 35, was out in the flat all by himself.
3rd down and 4. The ball at the 13-yard line. Penalty markers fly. It is thrown in the end zone for a touchdown, but there's a marker on the play. There is a marker on the play. So hold on a second.
It's holding, I think, against the defense, and the man back there was Brad Cochran because he's walking off the field with his head down.
Wendell Shelton has signaled touchdown. It is going to be a penalty against Michigan.
Look at this young man. You think he loves it. He stood out there and waited. And he could hardly make it off the field. And that's not fake, folks. If you join late, for some reason or other, Robbie Bosco, they say he has sprained ligaments in his knee, a sprained ankle, and a cracked rib. And this all occurred in the first quarter. Robbie Bosco. The pictures tell you the story. Watch. The rush is on by Michigan. Bosco steps up. He'll see Kelly Smith going downfield in the end zone. Look where the ball is put right in his hands. Kelly Smith, the touchdown. A holding penalty against Michigan. Refused.
Here's Lee Johnson's extra point. It is good. With a minute and 23 to play. And Holiday Bowl 7, Brigham Young leads 24-17. Bosco not to be outdone by his predecessor, Steve Young, who caught the winning touchdown pass in Holiday Bowl 6 a year ago, and we had Steve Young on with us at halftime. Bosco 30 of 42 for 343 yards, 2 touchdowns. He has thrown 3 interceptions. You think Robbie Bosco is laying claim, the early favorite, along with Keith Byers from Ohio State for the Heisman Trophy next year?
And Bernie Kosar from my hometown, Youngstown, Ohio. Actually, from Boardman, but we'll claim him in Youngstown.
If Bernie Kosar decides to come back and play another year. He has made overtures that he might not come back. He might turn pro, even though he still has a year of eligibility. All right, Toyota will donate $1,000 in the name of Robbie Bosco of Brigham Young as the most valuable player to his school's general scholarship fund. Young man, I got to tell you something. You have captured the hearts of millions across America by the way you have performed here tonight.
Exactly. And you look at his face. He knows, he says, and what he's saying is it's not done yet because Michigan still has 123, and they have 3 timeouts. Don't go anywhere.
All right, here it is. Now, this thing all started from their own 17-yard line, and they go 83 yards in 10 plays, a 13-yard touchdown pass. Bosco to Kelly Smith. Kelly Smith has scored 2 touchdowns tonight for Brigham Young. Hopefully, we'll have an opportunity to spend some time. Well, we'll go into that just a little bit further. Squib kick.
That's Johnson.
Johnson to the 30-yard line. Giovanni Johnson returns it to the 30-yard line. Michigan has all 3 timeouts remaining with a minute and 16 to go in the contest.
You're not going to see the catch, but you want to watch the guts of Robbie Bosco. Now, just take a look at him. He sees the rush is coming on. Bosco steps up, and now he's looking for a receiver. He's got blockers with him. He finds a receiver. Look at this. He's jumping. Watch how easy he comes out of that left leg. It's almost like the pain just went away for a moment. Now it's back again. He's happy. That'll take some of the pain away.
Well, Michigan has led for a good portion of this game. Do not count the Wolverines out. They are a gutty football team. Zerbrug back to throw. Under a rush, and he gets away. Goes down across the 30-yard line. Chased there by Brad Smith.
You got to hurry up offense. You got to keep going. You know, I don't understand it. Take a timeout now and get yourself regrouped. It's only second down. You've got 3 of them. You're wasting all this time to move the ball in the market. Take timeout. You got to call a play at the line of scrimmage.
50 seconds to go in the ball game. Zerbrug over the middle, and it is intercepted at the 40-yard line by Marv Allen. There is a penalty marker on the play. Marv Allen.
Only fitting. Marv Allen played in the first Holiday Bowl, and this is the 7th he's played in this one also. And if you didn't hear us earlier in the game, the reason Marv Allen is doing that, as a freshman he played. He was a redshirt for 1 year, went 2 years to the mission, on a mission, came back, and here's Marv Allen. Isn't it beautiful? Right in his hands. That's Bean there.
He had 4 interceptions in 1984. He comes up with his biggest. And we'll wait to see what the penalty marker is all about. They bring the ball back to the 49-yard line. The interception will hold up.
Dead ball, personal foul by the intercepting team. They retain possession, 1st and 25. The player has been ejected.
You see, the thing, that's what I was talking about. You've got a minute and some seconds. You're rushing. They're moving the ball. The clock's going. Go ahead and take a timeout and regroup your team. You still have a chance in the game. You had good field position.
So Bosco and company have 44 seconds to burn off. It is Heimuli.
He'll burn it.
Still on his feet. Near the 40-yard line. All right, to the stations along the line, we're going to be staying with the post-game festivities so far as taking a camera into the locker room of Brigham Young on the assumption they hold on, and it looks like they're all right. They lead 24-17. We expect that we'll be taking a camera into the BYU locker room. With some words from Lavelle Edwards, perhaps Robbie Bosco.
That's it.
I'll tell you what, this team has done a gut check of the first order tonight.
Yes, indeed.
And that young man in particular.
That's why they're number 1, Howard.
They very well should be number 1 by all the pollsters. And the New Year's Day Bowl in Miami may be meaningless. That's the end of the ball game. Final score, Brigham Young 24, Michigan 17. We're going to return to the post-game festivities. Stay with us in just a moment.
I took Rolly.
We're on the field right now with the star of the game, and Robbie Bosco, I have to say that was one of the guttiest performances I think I've ever seen.
Well, no doubt about it. It was a gutty performance by our whole team, and we never gave up. We hung in there, and just look at the scoreboard, and that says it all right there.
The pain must have been immense, though. I noticed you come off the field, hobbling off the field, and the doctors were saying the pain was excruciating.
Well, the knee wasn't too bad, but my ankle was just throbbing with pain, and I could hardly move. But, you know, this is for the national championship, and I just had to hang in there for the rest of the game.
I talked to some of your receivers that said it really didn't limit what you can do either. They ran the same patterns that they were running early in the ball game.
That's true. You know, we were running basically the same patterns, and our offensive line did a great job of giving me enough time, and, you know, we stopped ourselves. We had 6 turnovers, and that's the only thing that really hurt us.
I guess the most important thing, BYU is number 1.
That's for sure. You know, that's what we're thinking, and I don't think there's no one else in the country that can be number 1.
All right, Robbie Bosco, quarterback of BYU, the game's MVP, passed for about 350 yards, about 30 completions, and the Cougars win it. Howard, Paul?
Okay, Mike, now you get a look at Lavelle Edwards, and just before they went to that camera shot, Paul, you could see the tears coming down the face of Lavelle Edwards. He's done a magnificent job with his ball club. He was on the hook when they scored a touchdown to make it 17 all, or make it 17-16. He elected to kick the extra point rather than go for a 2-point conversion with about 10 minutes to go in the ball game, and now he's being carried off the field. I don't think there's any doubt in my mind, and I know not in your mind, as to who number 1 in the nation is right now. It has to be the Cougars of Brigham Young based on this victory tonight.
I don't think there's any question about that, Howard. First of all, let's say something about Michigan. What a job they did. Everybody wrote them off and said they had no business being here. The Michigan, You know, they came in, they had really nothing to lose and everything to gain, and I think they gained some respect from Brigham Young and from the other teams around the nation. Now, as far as Brigham Young, 483 yards in total offense. They averaged, what, 486? So they're right on target. They didn't get the points over 30. When you look at this football team, what they had to do, they made a lot of mistakes in the first half. They made a lot of mistakes in the third quarter, the first 3 quarters. Then all of a sudden, this team comes back, and when they have to do it, they put it together. That's something they've done all this year.
You brought up Michigan and the way they didn't quit. They certainly had no pressure on them tonight. They were a 6-5 ball club that had taken some heat for going to a bowl game with a record of 6-5. But again, I come back to their schedule. Now, while BYU has been taking over the coals because some people will say their schedule had a little bit of fluff attached to it, certainly Michigan's schedule was anything but that. They played 7 bowl football teams. They beat a couple of them. They played very well tonight. They played with tremendous intensity. They run the football exceptionally well, as all Wolverine teams do. They played great defense. Their special teams almost won the ball game for them tonight.
Howard, let me say this. I found this out last week that some AP pollsters, or guys that vote, said that if Brigham Young did not win by 10 or more, they would not vote for Brigham Young. They'd change their mind.
Here's the winning touchdown, Paul.
Here's Robbie Bosco, and, you know, just watching what he does, and again, strained ligaments. He's got a bad ankle. This is the one to Kozlowski. This is not the winning touchdown, is it?
No, that's the one to Kozlowski. That's the one that got him even.
Okay. And here comes Robbie Bosco again. Now, this may be the one. Is this the one to Kelly Smith, where the rush is on? And, yes, and he's going to step up in. Ligaments, ankle, broken rib. Look at this man. Throws. It's just over 300 yards. It's incredible. And I must say this. When we're talking about the pollsters saying if they don't win by 10 or more, Howard, they're going to change their vote. They must be people that never played the game of football, in my mind, because I can't believe that anyone can think a team can go undefeated in 13 games, the only team in the nation, and they do not deserve to be number 1.
You brought up a very good point early on in the game, and we talked about it earlier this week. People that have said BYU does not deserve to be number 1 probably never played the game of football, only in one sense. The fact is, I'm not sure you realize how difficult it is to go 12-0 and now 13-0. I don't believe it's ever been done before. Some people have said that a long time ago Nebraska went 13-0. I don't believe it has been done before, but we'll double-check the record just to be sure. It takes a tremendous amount of effort, both psychologically, athletically, to go unbeaten for a whole season. I mean, it hasn't been done that much in the pros. Miami did it most recently.
Well, I've said this, you know, the Oklahoma team saying they should be number 1. They have a loss and a tie. They got beat by Kansas. I'm not taking anything away from Kansas, but they get beat by Kansas. Nebraska gets beat by Syracuse. South Carolina gets beat by Navy. Teams that, I mean, were not supposed to win those football games. Washington also gets beat. But, you know, here's a team, when you go undefeated, give it to them, man. They deserve it. They are 13-0. They were number 1 going into the game. They won the game. They're number 1 coming out.
Well, final score tonight, Brigham Young University defeats the Michigan Wolverines by the score of 24-17. We had hoped to be able to go into the locker room BYU. That is not going to happen, unfortunately. Our thanks to Greg Wyatt and Mike Smith for patrolling the sidelines. For Paul McGuire, I'm Howard David. Thanks for watching. The final score, Brigham Young, the number 1 team in America, 24. Michigan, 17. Have a very happy holiday season, everybody.